New report says that vehicle crash and fatality rates for young drivers have fallen dramatically.
The nonprofit group Governors Highway Association says looking at statistics from 2021 and 2022, fatal crashes involving drivers under 21 years old have fallen by 38%, and deaths of young drivers have dropped even more, by about 45%. For drivers 21 and older, fatal crash and deaths rose during that period. The report acknowledges that young people are driving less than they were 20 years ago, but it highlights several other reasons for the decreasing numbers, such as state programs that phase in driving privileges. I'm Donna Warder.
Federal jury has convicted 2 senior employees at a Wisconsin corn plant of falsifying records and obstructing an investigation into a fatal corn dust explosion in 2017. 5 people killed in the explosion in Cambria, Wisconsin. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the middle of the week.
Halfway day, hump day, whatever day.
Yeah. What happened to cool, though? It was like 87 today.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
That's actually rather temperate. I've been kind of enjoying the last couple. I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I was so grateful for the warmth yesterday. Like, I left this office and I was like shivering.
Yeah,
I was
he
wearing
wasn't
my
feeling
hoodie.
good. Yeah.
I wasn't feeling good. I was wearing my hoodie and stuff, but I did this. I walked out of this office for lunch, right? And I walked down the hall to where the stairs are, where the window is, and I just stood in the sunlight for a second and just like let it warm me. I was just like, oh, this is nice.
Rain over
and
me.
then I went downstairs and went about my business. But yeah, I was thankful for the semi-warmth yesterday.
It was kind of like, then he went outside, and you know that scene from Shawshank where he finally gets out the tunnel and he's standing in the rain with his arms up? That was Sean in the middle
basking in the sunlight.
3rd Street yesterday.
Were staring me down. It was very odd.
I keyed, of course. But yeah, well, it's good you're feeling better.
There's something to be said about those scenes, and The Graduate did a great job of showing the after of those scenes. Because it's like he's on his knees, after just crawling through a mile-long tube of duty.
Yeah.
And he's standing in the rain, letting it wash himself off. He's like, ah. There's that moment after that you're like, well, I guess we're going to get up and walk away then. Like, that's the part you never see.
Yeah.
Like, The Graduate was great about that because, that end shot where, we're running away, we're happy, we're on the bus, and then their smiles slowly fade, and they're like, what did we just do?
I was like, now what?
Exactly. So, but yeah, there's what happens after Happily Ever After, Yeah. That's what I'm interested in.
Of course, with Shawshank, we get to see him go to Zen.
Zihuatanejo.
Yeah, that place.
I only know the name of Zihuatanejo because of Family Guy. They did such a great job with their Shawshank Redemption parody.
Speaking of Family Guy, Gene did a thing to me, my boss, yesterday. That so our Tuesday meetings. I was in Artesia, and we have our meetings, but we were talking about Christmas music and all that, and so my boss got to playing Christmas music on his phone for everybody, And
I'm really glad I didn't go.
Oh, everybody was me. I forgot. It was.
It was
But one got me.
Mm.
He started playing this song, and it was. I can't remember which Christmas song it was, but one of the classics. Like, we'll just say "Chestnuts Roasting on a." It don't really matter what the song is. It was a Christmas song. It was playing, and he wants me to guess who's singing, and so I'm listening, and I'm like, it sounds familiar, but I said, because it almost had a Frank Sinatra kind of vibe to it and all this, but I was like, it's not quite him, so I guessed David Hasselhoff, and because it had that quality to it. It wasn't like it was someone trying to do Sinatra, but it wasn't quite that way.
Right.
But it definitely sounded like someone who could sing.
Okay.
So I went with like a Hasselhoff or something like that. That does have a. Turns out it was Seth MacFarlane.
Oh yeah, he's got an
I didn't know Seth
amazing
MacFarlane
voice.
could sing.
He put out an entire album of Broadway standards.
Yeah,
like
this was Christmas stuff.
And what it is, he has access, and thanks to the budget he has on Family Guy, one of the few shows that's in existence still to this day that has a live orchestra like on set that like will do his like the sweepers in between scenes.
Yeah,
that's all done with a live like 65-piece orchestra. So he has access to this orchestra like at all times. So they put out an album together.
It was a Christmas album, but it was like serious. It wasn't like I was waiting for like
if you
like the characters to kick in.
One of his better friends, and he's actually been featured on a couple episodes of Family Guy, is Frank Sinatra Jr.
Okay,
like they're actually really good friends. With each other.
Well, he's got that.
So they croon every they'll have
he's got that crooner voice. I didn't realize it. He like I knew he always kind of acts and does the jokey version of that,
right?
But I didn't think he had like a serious songs with him doing that. And I was like, whoa!
And that's what threw me off because when I was like, I'll check out his his musical special, thinking, okay, well it'll be tongue in cheek a bit. No, he played it straight serious.
Yeah,
like
it kind of
like the stool. He was wearing the suit. He kind of like leaned.
Like
on
I was waiting to laugh, and I'm like, he's actually kind of talented. Dude's got some chops, man. It threw me off. It was just
I understand.
I did not expect it to come from that
when you
area.
see somebody and they do a thing that's not the thing that they're known for really well, it kind of it's shocking.
But then again, I should know because a lot of his jokey, spoofy stuff, he sing. You know what I mean? Like he's a musical guy.
Yeah,
Everything's
the best way to kind of know that or kind of like lean into that is if you watch the show, Brian, the dog Brian, is basically just his voice. It's just Seth MacFarlane talking. And Brian is on the show known to croon, quite a little bit too.
Yeah.
And that's always him. Like there's a so yeah, he does
maybe he's just a closet Broadway singer. That's his deal,
He was using this whole Family Guy thing to get to his true love of Broadway standards.
Could be.
Right? Rogers, Hammerstein, MacFarlane.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? The animated version of Broadway.
I'm surprised they haven't done they didn't do a musical episode of the Orville. Like
Give it time.
Well, it's true. That is one of those like it's kind of like Star Trek, but like turned up a notch.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could pull off a musical episode.
Yeah, don't they do like I know the Orville was on Fox and got canceled, but isn't like Hulu or someone
I think
put new
Hulu
episodes
or
out?
somebody picked them up.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, I only watched the first season on Fox, and I watched like the first episode of the second season. For some reason, I had trouble getting into it, and then it just kind of dropped off after that. But it was one of those ones like it was kind of good. I don't know why I didn't finish it. Never did.
I have a hard time watching Seth MacFarlane in anything that it's not going to be, teeth out funny. And so that
one had some moments.
There's some moments.
Yeah.
Like the one that everybody always references is the one where the one alien gets addicted to cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I liked it because it kind of peeled back that Star Trek seriousness to it a little bit. It made it kind of funny. But
and that's I could never get into Star Trek as a kid just because it was way too I've mentioned it before, it's like serious cartoons. I could never watch like your Johnny Quests or like even Scooby-Doo wasn't funny enough for me. So I couldn't watch Star Trek because that was way too serious.
Well, and that's the thing is like I think the Next Generation was why it was so successful was like the first it was actually the second of all the Star Treks, but that was like the first one that gave some of the cast more likability. Like Kirk and Spock, you know, they were very much in their niche. You know,
Right.
Kirk was that lover boy, playboy, adventure guy. Spock's on task, Mr. Science. Bones was, you know what I mean? They all had their little niches. Whereas Next Generation, you started to learn more about them socially. I think, or like when they weren't in uniform, so to speak.
When I was a kid, right after Saturday morning cartoons, it would be American Gladiators, and then what I called the Nightmare Block, because it was Star Trek: The Next Generation, Xena Warrior Princess, and Hercules.
I'll say Hercules was probably in there, and
it was Hercules. I was trying to think which one it was. Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, the Kevin Sorbo one.
But that was just like, it was unwatchable TV for me. I was a 9-10-year-old kid. That's your cue. Get outside.
And Xena was a spinoff of Hercules, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was one of the warrior princesses.
Yeah, and then she got her own show.
Dominion.
Xena. Yep. She was kind of like famous for that period in the 90s there, the actress that was
Lucy
Xena.
Lawless?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was kind of a big deal for a minute there. I haven't seen or heard from her in years.
We don't have time for it right now. Next hour we need to talk about it. The next season of Dark Side of Comedy is coming out.
Oh, okay.
And the lineup looks amazing.
All right.
I actually I stopped. I was watching the Brett Butler episode from last season last night. I paused it and took a picture of the lineup from this year or for this season. It's amazing.
Okay. Did you ever watch the Artie Lang one?
No, I haven't watched most of that one because I don't have Vice. So I just kind of catch him.
Well,
where
I
I
lost
can.
it. So I lost Vice because we changed our package. And so where do you catch them at now?
Sometimes they'll put them up on YouTube. Like if they're like right now they're promoting the new season.
Sometimes Hulu puts Vice stuff on. But
right now they're
it.
promoting the new season, and they had the Brett Butler episode on YouTube. And by the way, have you seen Brett Butler lately?
Well, I saw the episode here.
When I was watching it for like half the episode, I'm like, I thought it was somebody like one of her like mom or something talking about her.
Well, I'd seen her more recently in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
She was in the later seasons of Walking Dead there. So.
Right. They mentioned that too, but man.
Yeah.
It's a complete change. You know who else in that episode kind of shocked me was Lisa Lampanelli.
Yeah.
Looks completely
well,
different.
she had the weight loss thing.
Was it? Okay, so it was like a surgery.
I think she did the lap band thing like in the early 2000s, somewhere in there. And so she lost a bunch of weight, but she got that, you know how their head still stays.
Yeah, that's the thing. She looks smaller though. She looks.
Yeah, like their
shrunken.
body's smaller, but the head's still the same size. They don't quite look. She had that going on.
Yeah, bobblehead syndrome.
Yeah. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Is that connected? Absolutely not. We'll just go with it. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to have John from Oasis Computers. He pops in, visits once a month, talks tech with us. So we'll do that here in just a few. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society going to join us to give us an update. Yeah. I think we had a scheduling thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the reason, but there's a reason we're doing it at 8 o'clock today. And then in 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Andrew Moore with the Roswell Chamber will join us, give us an update. They got some more of the candidate forums coming up, and of course their weekly lunches with city and all those entities, school board, all that, the school and all that. So we'll get updates on all that for you from her in the 9 o'clock hour.
But good.
Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local and national variety, along with your Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Staying pretty nice over the next couple of days. Temperatures will be warming up a little bit. Upper 80s to about 90, and sunshine today with high pressure over our area. A little bit breezy. Clear tonight and down to a low of 50, and then we're in the low 80s for the afternoon high on Thursday, and we keep the sunshine. Clear Thursday night, warming up again on Friday, upper 80s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 53 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds are calm at the moment. For today, we're still going to be floating in the upper 80s. For today, 87 under sunny skies. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 15. Tonight, we're looking at clear skies with an overnight low of 51 degrees. Northeast winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll drop down to 84 tomorrow. So mid-80s tomorrow under sunny skies. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 52 degrees with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 89. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, looking at partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 57, so a good night for some football. And then looking at the weekend, Saturday, we're expected to hit 90 under mostly sunny skies. And then Sunday, sunny skies, once again, supposed to hit 90 there, too. So that's a look at your weather. It is 7:19. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then John from Oasis Computers will join us. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Honey, read this. Seems Councilman Barry Foster didn't pay his water bill for over 2 years, owing almost $2,000.
How? They would have cut his water off.
State mandates the water service couldn't be cut during COVID.
This says the Fosters make around $150,000 a year, and they refuse to pay their water bill?
Since Barry Foster's been on city council, city debt has tripled. With rising crime, he voted against hiring 5 new police officers.
And the city delayed vital repairs to our drinking water system. Now, repair costs have skyrocketed.
It's time for a change.
Change by voting for Carlos Marujo.
He's a supervisor at Eastern New Mexico U. Carlos knows how inflation impacts Roswell's working families.
Carlos Marujo will demand Roswell live within its means. He respects taxpayers.
We can't afford 16 years of Councilman Barry Foster.
Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Our Values PAC. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. And everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, back for his monthly visit, John with Oasis Computers, back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's life at the store this morning?
Pretty good. Gotten busy this week, so can't complain.
There you go. People coming to see you, coming to get their computers fixed and things like that. So that's
still
how it
kind
works.
of a little complaint. They all come at once.
That's usually it is when it rains, it pours, right?
But I hear that's the same everywhere.
It's true. It's I don't know if it's a Murphy's Law thing or just it's.
I'm glad they show up.
That's you're just happy that
Right.
you have the customers, even if you can't quite pinpoint when they come in.
Spread it out a little bit would be nice, but it's okay.
Absolutely. Of course, if for folks not familiar, John owns Oasis Computers, which is a company that can help you with computer. If you need a new computer built, something like that, he can handle that. If you're trying to salvage life out of an older computer, he's got you covered there. And really anything in that tech world that you're looking for advice for, networking stuff, John and Oasis Computers can help you do all that stuff. So.
Yep.
A lot of times when John joins us, we talk tech and things here and just talk. So kind of this time of year, I mean, are we? I know next month everyone's going to be back to the Black Friday thing, and we always talk about there are deals out there, but pay attention to what's in there to determine whether it's worth it or better leave that one on the shelf.
Yeah, it seems to change a little bit. It's not as big as it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be real big.
Right.
Maybe.
I think it's been ruined by the internet, where they start earlier and
Sure.
earlier, and everybody trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah, Black Friday starts like in September
January.
now. Yeah, you're true. It is true,
Right.
and so people are just like I don't want to deal with that, but online and some of these they're still doing some deals on occasion.
There are
like
some good deals to be found sometimes.
But you gotta and here's the thing. John's always said it. Look, if you see a deal on the internet and you're kind of wondering if it's worth it or not, show me. I'll tell you. And I'll
Stop
tell you.
by. If it's really a good deal, I may go get some myself.
He's like saying, "Hey, order a second one, and I'll pay you."
Right. Right.
But so I know we're getting up on that time of year again. So if you do have those kinds of questions or looking to maybe that's the time to purchase some technology for your home, then please don't hesitate to use John as a source to help you.
No,
because
if there's any question, come and ask me.
Sure.
Try to steer in the right direction.
And a lot of times, too, like if you explain to John what you're trying to do, he could probably say, look, I know what you're trying to do, but I could offer a way to do that probably cheaper and more efficiently.
Well, I come in a lot of times where you need help with, I need my data, I need the new one set up, whatever. So I don't mind selling one.
Right.
But if it's a good deal or I don't have what you exactly want, you found it somewhere else, then you need help with transferring, setting up, whatever, bring it by.
You want to make it as easy as possible for
Yeah,
him.
we'll help with that.
Absolutely, because John knows, if anybody knows, technology is awesome when it works, but as it doesn't, you want to throw it out the window. And he wants to help you navigate
like they have something against us. I had a phone problem and a nightmare. Trying to get it through, and then through the customer's head that the machine does not, you can't persuade the machine to go your way.
A machine is a machine.
Right.
It's not. It doesn't have emotion. It doesn't.
And then like I always say, once you understand that you're the one making the most mistakes, you're doing it wrong. You got to halfway made.
Yeah.
I always say, what the hell is wrong with this computer?
It's doing something wrong.
Now it's more like, okay, what did I do wrong now?
What step did I miss?
Right,
What thing did I?
And then they change it and they make it more difficult with the two-factor and things like that. And it's just tough, even for me once in a while.
Absolutely. And here's a message I've got for young people. It will happen to you as you get older. You're going to hit a certain plateau in life where your technology just gets there. And then at some point, you're going to hit that wall and be like, I'm tired of learning new things. It happens to all of us. Like young people, you're immersed in the world, so you change on the fly, you're good with it. But I'm going to guess 40. Somewhere in your 40s is about where you start.
Probably.
You start going,
well, you get used to
how
how things are working, and it works for you, and you like it, and you settled in with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's obviously better, and it's not too hard to go with the flow.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not necessarily any better.
Yeah, it's true. And so trust me, even the young folks that complain about us, old people always complain about things changing, you're going to get there.
Yeah.
You're going to hit that air, and you're like, they were right.
Yeah, I know.
It just is. It's life.
I remember my parents complaining about why it all had to change and be different.
Yep, it's life. Trust me, all the stuff you complain about your parents, give it a few years, you're going to start relating.
The only thing it looks like to me, it seems to be going faster.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That
changes are faster. Look
it
at
feels like
at the Chat GPT, the artificial intelligence.
Sure.
What, a year ago we hadn't even hardly heard about it, and suddenly it's everywhere.
Now everybody at least has
just a year,
a knowledge of it. They may not know what it is per se, but they've heard of it. And you're right. Well, and that's, but, and if you look back at technology in just the last 20 years, how much things are done differently now than we did them.
Right.
You know, in our lifetimes not that long ago, you know, just something that it's like, man, just seems like a few years ago I did it a completely different way back then. And so it's just traditions going, you know, even things that you take as like tradition. Oh, it's that time of the week I got to do it.
Right.
That goes away now because computer, something
200 years ago, it was amazing to make a picture of something, the new technology. And look what y'all needed for it to get just a picture taken. And now it's click with your phone and edit it on the phone.
Yeah. I mean, just even simple things like wanting to know what time a movie plays or what's the time of the day. You know, back in the day, you used to call a number to find the time, or you called the movie hotline. Now it's a quick 3-button search, and there it is.
The question is, though, are we better off or not?
That's just it. It's, you know, in some
sometimes you are. A lot of times we are. But
and
sometimes it's
you're
like, leave it alone. Who cares?
You know, there's a reason why it's a slower process, and it should be that way. But you know, it is like that. But trust us, you know, younger folks, that you will hit that plateau at some point where you're like, I'm done trying to learn new technology. It's like where I'm there. Everything I got, I want to know I have it. So that being said, but when you hit those walls, regardless when John can be here to take care of those kind of things.
Yeah, and you bring up a point there on the you can ask for the time, whatever. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing still is, you know, where do I get answers for my problem? Mm-hmm. And people come in, how do I do whatever it is, fill in the blank that you have a question about?
Right.
And it's like, interesting question. I don't know. So I turn around, start the computer up, and go to Google and say, how do I do? And type exactly the question in and say, oh, this is what you do. And they look at me like, well, I could have done that.
You could have.
Well, learn from it and try Googling it. You may avoid having to go anywhere to get an answer.
Sure. Sometimes it's always worth a try, but sometimes you get more answers than you can handle, and that's where John can say, all right, let me.
Well, if it's obvious, you know, it's probably okay.
Sure.
If you get several answers that point in the same direction, it's probably okay.
Sure.
If you get all different answers, it gets difficult.
Yeah,
you know, it's not always working real well, but
absolutely,
it's the first try to see what to do.
Yeah, and that's something I think people our age and older, that's not their first. You know what I mean? Like their brain's not trained that way to think that way.
It's the same thing as going to tech support, and people like us, older people in general, want to talk to somebody, but that doesn't. It's not very effective.
No.
If you just do the texting or the what's it called, the online texting to somebody to help tech support. Is in general so much better.
Sure. Well, and tech support's by design to talk to the people that have the least amount of knowledge about the product that we're talking about here. So people that have knowledge of it get frustrated because it's like, look, I plugged it in. I know it's all that. I want to get past all that and get to the part where I ask you why it's not doing this. You know.
Yeah, there's a whole range of problems. There's people that you know, everybody has a certain level of what you should understand if you use a computer. That's just, these things are known.
Right.
But they're not.
Exactly.
You know, there's many people that don't know what a right click on a button is. On a mouse button.
And how many times do they actually solve the problem because they're sitting there going, all right, is it plugged in? Is it? And then someone says, oh, wait.
Learned that a long time ago.
Like they did that whole thing like, of course it. Oh, wait.
No, don't. You know, it can come loose.
Yeah.
It can fall out. The best thing is it plugged in? Unplug everything and plug it back in.
Sure.
You know, don't look at it and say, oh, it's plugged. It looks like
make sure
it's
it's seated.
in.
Yeah, make sure it's seated, touch it.
Plus, sometimes, you know, reconnecting, even though it was plugged in, fixes things.
It is.
Especially in the inside of a computer.
I think Microsoft taught us that. When in doubt, restart it. Reset it, restart it.
That's a big one. Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Sure. Well, and that's just it. A lot of times, you know, depending on computers and things, like if it's problems in the cache or the cookies and stuff, you reboot it, it clears all that out. Next thing you know, the software that was having an issue is working again. And so,
right.
And so that's, you know, sometimes that's the case. Sometimes it's not. But, we want to eliminate that. Hence the reason why they say, hey, did you try rebooting? Or did you try restarting the program?
Well, sometimes it has fixed it, but it needs to, implement the fix by restarting up.
Sure. Like if you update and then you don't restart.
Right.
The changes don't get applied until
that's correct.
Until you reboot the computer. So.
Right.
But it's little things like that you kind of have to pay attention to. And if you do that, then when you have a problem, then it kind of it helps guys like John that are trying to fix it. They can navigate through that a lot quicker.
Well, a lot of times the problems show up at a not very convenient time.
Mm-hmm.
I got to print this out and bring it to my lawyer.
When you're in a rush.
Change your password now? No, not now. Well, you can't.
It never happens when you're just farting around Googling and looking at things.
Reboot, and then it doesn't work, and you get in a panic mode because you got to get it done.
Right.
Equipment fails you when you need it. That's a big problem.
My favorite thing is with the Microsoft Outlook is that moment that I got to send an email real quick is the moment that, because of the way my Outlook's set up, I have it on multiple devices, so it's to sync up, with everybody. Yep. So that moment, I'm like, let me get that email to you real quick. That's the moment my computer says, we're going to sync first. And so it syncs for about 20 minutes of syncing, and then, okay, we'll send the email now.
Well, you talk about Christmas coming up. It's the same thing as what we probably still have. I need that present ordered in.
Mm-hmm.
You have enough time to order it. You have 2 extra days. But order it now.
Yeah.
And it's really needed and wanted, and you really want it, well, that one don't show up.
Right.
The one that you don't care for is there 2 days ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as all the customers showing up at the same time.
Yep. It's just one of those things that if it can happen that way, it will happen that way. So, but we deal with them. And the moments that it gets a little beyond, that's where John can come in and say, hey, let's
come on over
and
take
a look and
have a look at what we have at the moment, all kinds of computers around.
Yeah.
Computers are getting cheap, too. I have one little, it's not a Nook, it's some unknown brand that I ordered in, and I go, I probably lose my money on this one, but I want to see what it's about. I was very impressed. I sell it for $250.
And it does.
I can't hardly sell old computers when we have new computers that sell for $250.
Sure. And that are probably a little bit more efficient than that.
Well, it's the lower end. It's like the Celeron processor in it, but almost nobody asks for power anymore.
Sure. Well,
the gamer does, and a couple of people do.
Yeah, but people are just doing what they...
No, my average customer doesn't store any more data than between 45 and that's Windows and everything included, 45 to 90
and the people that
gigabytes.
Need a lot of storage generally put it in the cloud now. It's not on a hard drive.
Not the people that need a lot of storage. If you have some certain people, they still have a big drive and have a lot of photos, music, movies, whatever on it that they want and need locally. But the average user, think of photos. You used to scan them in and put them on your computer and then put them on a drive because there was not enough space on it. And what do you do now? You take a picture with your phone, and where does it go?
Goes to the cloud or wherever you
it goes
keep it.
To your iDrive, your whatever, your Google storage, whatever phone you have.
And then they just get more space when they run out. So you don't need it all on a hard drive.
What is a very misunderstood thing, too? Something goes wrong, there's nothing left, and, let's look at your online account. Oh, my God, they're all there. It's just,
Yeah, it's a... But there's still some... But if you're a media type, like you said, a gamer or someone that creates media or stuff like that, then you probably still need the hard drives and the big, powerful PCs.
Well,
stuff.
You put out a point there. There's you create things, whatever they are, all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
Or you consume. Most of us consume, and the consuming part don't take much of a computer.
Sure, but the creating it does.
The creating may need a lot more equipment.
Yeah. So if you're a creator, if you're trying to maybe create software, games, things like that, or create art through that, then you're going to need the tools to do that. But if you, like you said, if you're just watching the movies or listening to the music,
then more and more the computer seems to be used for when the phone is not sufficient.
Sure.
And people do more and more everything on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to look at a spreadsheet and you have to scroll left and right and up and down on the phone to see just a small amount of fields on it.
Yeah.
Then maybe a computer with 3 screens on it that shows the whole thing may be better.
And that could be a generational preference too, because I notice like guys like me, I don't like to do notes and things on the phone. Part of it's because I'm blind and I get you know what I mean? But I'm that piece of paper guy that's because of where I grew up and how I am. It's
ingrained.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
but
really...
I see younger people all the time, they could do their whole presentation on their phone and I'm like, I wish I had that. To me, that it feels inefficient. I feel unprepared.
When a problem comes in, I try to do it through the phone. I can speak to the phone and note the problem down, whatever. And I've got it all set up, and I seldom use it. It seems to be still more convenient to have a check sheet as to the name, your
But
problem.
I think that's just how our brains work. Like someone that never was introduced it that way and done maybe through a digital way probably don't agree with us. That's what I would
use both. There's a lot of things that do get dictated in the phone because it's so much easier. So if once the problem is established and I come up with a solution, so I have some notes on it, but I want to make sure I can get back to it and I know what I did.
Sure.
Instead of typing it all in, and the funny thing is it works really good on the phone with Google for me. I just speak it in the phone, and all the notes get stored in a note-taking app.
Yeah.
And then you can paste it and copy it and do whatever you want with it.
My boss likes to do a lot of the notes type of stuff.
It's the same as texting. I've looked at texting and I go like, why don't you just call somebody for the longest time? Till I figured out that you can actually talk a text in.
And the software's a lot better.
Well, yes, these days it is. For the last, 5-6 years?
Yeah, the early versions of that, you talk something, and you'd be lucky if you got 6 words of it right.
Yeah, Google is, that's why I keep pointing at Google. Google is amazing on it.
They've gotten a lot better
with my Dutch accent, that's whatever.
Yeah, you might, with your accent.
The machine has in general no problem with it except for a few words that I never can get right.
Gotcha.
But, if I speak into that phone and I hand it over to you, and you start speaking to it, it has no problem understanding your different slang or whatever.
It's not used to listening to me, but it'll understand me.
No, it just picks it up. Unlike the older software, you had to train it to listen to your voice.
Sure.
This doesn't just do it.
If you remember, like I have Apple phones and I've had them, but like the early versions of the recognition voice, they used to have you, say this.
Yeah, Dragon Naturally Speaking.
Yeah.
You had to sit, half an hour down with it to train it. And then the problem with that was, so I will train this to listen to me.
Yeah.
And then when you actually start dictating, you say, so I will train this to listen to me. And then it doesn't do it right.
You don't talk, you just talk how you normally talk.
Right.
So that's a tip, too. If you have to do some training, do it the way you normally do it. Don't try to do it
Don't try to speak to something that doesn't understand it, and you have to be very careful.
Otherwise, you're going to have to do it the rest of your ownership of that device.
Just little stupid things that you overlook and don't get.
Well, and you funny you say that because this is something when I do radio, when I have people record commercials. I always tell people, it's like, hey, when you're reading your script and you mess up, because we do, when you mess up a word or something.
No,
when we do it, I was like, we all do that.
Yes.
And so I said, when that happens, I said, rather than try to say the word again afterwards, stop and restart the sentence over. And the reason why I say that is because what we tend to do as humans, whenever you make a mistake in a word, like when you're talking with someone, you'll say the word again, you raise your pitch up. So you'll be like, I went to the store the other day.
Right.
And then and so I can edit, but what's going to happen is when I edit, it's going to go, I went to the store the other day, and it won't sound right. So So I always tell people, but it's very much like you're saying, we just, because we're such a creature of habit in that way. And so I always say, if so it's right. It's kind of like, it's a good point. It's like when you're trying to do something to get people to train you or understand, do it in the way you normally do it. Otherwise, you're going to mess up that process.
Right.
So it's just one of those tips.
It's the way brain and the human being works. I thought I knew what I was doing for the longest time until we come to today, and apparently I don't know what I'm doing because I type my password in that I type in every morning, and I type it in wrong.
Yeah.
So why? At first you wouldn't believe yourself you typed it in wrong.
Right.
But,
Been doing it for years.
Getting in the habit of clicking on that little eyeball and go, oh, what did I type in? Or you pick the wrong password for the wrong machine or something
Absolutely.
like that.
Yeah, we did it wrong, but what it is it's because we do it so much that the one time you get in automatic pilot mode and you got slightly distracted, you messed it up.
Right.
And that's what happens, and so a character's off.
Funny part is, give me your password. Have you, capital, what is it? Hand them a keyboard, type your password in, no problem.
It's funny you mention that, but like my PIN for like your ATM or any of that stuff.
It's amazing.
People like if you have to do a tech support question, what's your PIN? And I'm like, it's a...
Yep.
And then I got to leave my phone going, okay, I remember it now. Same thing.
That's a simple thing that everybody has experienced. Why is that? It doesn't work the way you would think it works because you think your brain recalls the pin and puts it in.
Sure.
It looks more like the fingers just know how the pin works.
That muscle memory.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah. And so exactly, I have to go to the muscle memory. It's like, okay. That's the pin is excellent because I don't know how many times, because every time you go to the store and make a purchase with it, you're just doot, and you go on about your day.
Not seeing something that's in front of you on the screen. Are you sure? Yes or no? And you don't see the are you sure? Yes or no? Even though it's right in front of you.
And you've been sitting there for a minute, it's like, what are we waiting on? Like,
right.
It's me. Sorry about
the
that.
The pin, you talk about the pin. For the longest time, I always thought a pin was a four-digit number entry. And, one day somebody comes in and I say, I need your PIN to get in the computer. And he says, XYC capital D 124. And I was saying, well, sir, that's your password.
I need a four-digit
number. He looked
number.
at me and he said, no, that's my PIN. Well, okay, I'll prove you're wrong. I'll type it in that way. And it let me in.
Right.
And I go... Huh?
How'd you do that?
Right, exactly. How did he do that? So later that day, I looked up on it. How is that done? Well, for all that time, if you make a PIN, in Windows anyway, to get into your computer, there's a little checkbox that says, if you want to use letters and symbols, click this.
Yeah.
And I must have done that for 5 years. Never noticed it.
You know what finally got me wise to that one was when they upped the numbers on the pin. I think it's maybe Windows 10 or maybe the one before. I don't remember which version did it, but because we always put the 4-digit pin, but then there was one version, it was like a 6-digit
There's
or
some
something.
places where you
and I was
put
like,
more in.
6-digit, but then I saw the little things. If you want to go back to 4, if you want to, I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
And so
but
that's
a lot of
where it
times
dawned
you
on
don't
me.
see that because you're in the habit of it. The brain, I think, says the PIN is a 4-digit number. Period. That's it. End of story.
Yeah.
Even though it says right in front of you, if you want to use more or different, click here.
Right.
You don't see it. You see it, but you don't recognize
Your brain
it.
doesn't compute it or whatever. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's well, but that's really, if you want to do the brain social experiment, that's really, like when they do law enforcement training and stuff like that. That's all part of how they get them to be observant and things. They literally will do stuff like this and say, "All right, what's in the room? What do you see? And what do you observe?" And then you come back and you realize how much your brain didn't catch versus did catch. And so I think a lot of that's in the same world of what you're talking about here is how the brain works and how we perceive things and how we
I think
automatic pilot things.
We fill in a lot of the blanks automatically somehow.
Right. Well, it's kind of like you ever see those posts on social media where they usually write the words either backwards or upside down, or they'll use different spellings.
Leave a bunch of letters out, and you can read it just
and
fine.
You still can understand it. And that's what I think you're talking about. Is your brain
fills in the blank.
Fills in the blank. So
now,
to speak.
if it's the same word, that not the same word, but depending on what you fill in, you get two different words. Things may go wrong there.
Sure, that's true.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and this is why you see the other posts that say, comma placement can really change the meaning of something.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Same as with programming. If you don't type it in correctly, it doesn't work.
Do you remember those days? And this is, to me as a kid, I'm doing this, and to this day, I can't believe we completed some things. But, I grew up in that age where my first home personal computer was an Apple IIc. Mm-hmm. This is sometime in the mid-'80s sometime.
Right.
But, and obviously there wasn't a lot of software for really the general consumer yet. A lot of it you could create yourself or...
Right.
Or there was rudimentary. Everything's DOS based, everything. But I remember we used to get like a Apple PC magazine or something that came every month. And in those magazines, there used to be these things where you could put code in, and then if you did all the code right, you could play Hangman or you could play some rudimentary game. And as a kid, I remember spending hours putting in the pages of code.
And it never worked.
And I think one time I got Hangman to work. The thing is, you missed one character in that thousands of code and nothing worked.
Right, it's very common.
So it was very complicated.
Done it too.
But that was how the early days of the computer. But that's a reminder of going through star asterisk.
This thing don't work.
Yeah.
No, again, you didn't type it in exactly. Yeah. Of course, you have the problem. I've told the story before. But the customer comes in, warns me up front. We have not much money. We don't want to. We just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your question? Well, this, and that. Oh, here in the book you got page 25. Study up on page 25 and 26. Follow it, understand what it says, and do the thing it says, and it will work. Doesn't cost you anything to do. Okay. They come back a week later, and they said, we cannot make this work. It's impossible. Of course, did you do it right? You must be doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. Well, we get to this point here, and then it doesn't work. And it says, something about C, semicolon, / whatever.
Okay.
It's not semicolon. It's C colon.
Ah.
The book had a misprint in it.
Oh, wow. So
they
after
follow
all
it
of that,
exactly, and it does not work because it's a misprint. The printer put a semicolon instead of a colon.
Wow.
And the whole thing don't work.
I wonder how many times that happened before someone at the printer caught that.
Maybe never.
Probably right. Oh, man. But yeah, you're right. And that's that world here. But that being said, that's the world of computers. So please, if you're having those issues, or like you said, come down. Let John talk you through it sometimes. Sometimes it's a matter of talking you through it. Say, all right. And then when you look, and it's something as simple as one thing was off. One digit was off. One code.
One thing to be prepared for lately, I thought that certain things would go faster, better, the way Microsoft is changing things.
Mm-hmm.
People stay longer than ever trying to get the password, the new setup, the new thing going. Used to be half an hour. We would get most of everything handled. With these passwords and this new setup, and the biggest problem is trying to retrieve to get back into the account.
Gotcha.
And it's just rolling downhill basically. It starts with, do you have your password? No. Do you need the PIN for it? No. Well, it can send a message to your phone. We don't have that phone, or the phone does not work. What other option do we have? Mm-hmm. I had one on Monday, and I don't know what's wrong with the phone, but it didn't work at all anymore. So, let's reset it. Can you work with losing everything? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that it's okay. We reset it, and Android phone. The phone comes back up. We set it up, and we run. It says put your Google account with this. So I put Google account in it, and then it says, okay, we'll send a message to this phone number. Now at that point, the phone's not working yet. It's in the process of being set up, and they want to send a message to the phone number. And I go, oh,
how am I supposed to get that
God's
message?
Sake, who programmed this? You know, this is horrible. So we tried to get in on a computer to his Google account.
Uh-huh.
The password is actually good that he has.
Okay.
But it's a different machine, so it says, we'll send a message to this phone number so you can get in.
No!
But the phone doesn't work. How do you get a phone to work? So it got kind of busy, so I got busy with some other people and got done with it. And I go, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. This is stupid. You know, you can't. You got to be able to get in.
Right.
And it's like
catch 22
I
here.
Don't know what else to tell you. So he gets up to just about call it quits, and I go, Wait a minute. It's a phone. It doesn't need a Google account. What's going? Okay, so we got to the point that we're stuck. We reset the phone again.
Yeah.
I stepped through it. And, of course, the same thing we're talking about. You don't see skip. You don't have to put the Google account in. You need to set the phone up so the phone works so you can receive a text message to the phone number.
Gotcha.
And then you can set your Google account up. You get a text message to that phone on that phone number, and it automatically says, you want to use this number?
Yeah.
Yes. And it works fine.
You know what the lesson there is? Like in life, always read the fine print.
Well, that too, but read the whole thing.
Sure,
we don't
absolutely.
see the message.
Our
at
brain
the
is
bottom,
only looking for what it's looking for and misses all the other
bottom
details.
left-hand corner says skip ?
Mm-hmm.
And you just assume that it asks for that. You have to do that,
Right.
and then you can't finish it off.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Pitfalls left and right.
hey, an ounce of prevention can prevent a pound of pain or whatever that is. I don't remember on that, but I just saw the time.
Yeah,
We're
me
about
too.
out of
I
it,
saw
too.
you looking, and it's like I gotta get back.
He's got customers to service
Yep.
here. Of course, if you need any work done, mornings are generally his service time. Monday through Friday between 8 and noon, you can come and bring bring us your tired, broken computers and let him take a look at them. If it's quick stuff, he can fix it right on the spot and send you on your way. If it's something that's going to take some time, you leave it with him. He'll work on them in the afternoons.
Yep.
That's kind of what he does there.
That's why we close in the afternoon so I can get work done.
So he'll knock out the simple ones between 8 and noon, and then the heavy lifting, he'll keep it and work on in the
depending on
afternoons.
what needs to be done.
Yeah,
Some
so-
stuff just takes a little longer.
Yeah. Call if you have any questions.
Right. Call any time of the working day.
Yeah. Call, leave a voicemail if you don't get John live.
Yes.
And John says he'll answer every voicemail, but he will not return any calls that don't leave voicemail. So leave a voicemail. What is the best number to get you at?
575-625-9141.
Yep. And don't forget they're located right behind the Wool Bowl there
Yes,
on Garden.
Garden.
Yeah, Garden, not the other one.
The best thing to say is right behind the Wool Bowl.
Yes.
Because then you got the right street.
Yes, it's right behind the Wool Bowl there.
Yeah, rear
on
exit
Garden.
of the Wool Bowl
Yeah.
Stadium.
Come on by and visit, and or if you're looking for new technology, or if you're trying to figure out a solution with your stuff, even networking stuff, he can help businesses and homes with their networking issues. Again, that's his afternoon stuff. Sometimes if he has to make a house
service
call.
calls or house calls are done in the afternoon.
Yeah, all that through there. So,
Right.
Good deal. Well, thank you, John. We'll see
thank you.
next time, if not sooner, and try not to work too hard.
It's never hard work.
Yeah, and
it's always interesting.
Well, he like everyone else has to deal with landscaping and things, and sometimes it works amazingly. Sometimes you want to throw it in the river. So he was telling me about.
Yeah, we have some issues once in a while.
Yeah, it does. Welcome to life. Thank you, John. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right, it is 7:57. Let's get you into your sports update and a quick break. Don't go away.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support. DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Whew. That was a close one for the Goddard Lady Rockets against the Lovington Wildcats. Yesterday in girls soccer, Lovington entered the match with only a 3-11-1 victory. Goddard holds pitch, so to speak, by defeating the Wildcats 4-3, but it went into 2 overtime periods before the Lady Rockets got it done. Goddard's now 10-6-1 overall, 3-1 in district play. It was a close match between Roswell and Hobbs in volleyball. Well, it may not look that close. Roswell won in a sweet 3-0, but the scores 28-26, 26-24, 25-23. The Roswell teams didn't have such luck against Hobbs in soccer. In girls soccer, Hobbs won in Roswell 4-0, and the Roswell boys went to undefeated Hobbs and lost also 4-0. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
This spooky season, Roswell Nissan's getting you hooked up with a few treats. No tricks required. Roswell Nissan presents Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 21st from noon to 3. A ghoulishly good time complete with games and activities for the little goblins. Free food, pumpkin painting contest, and of course, caskets full of candy. And Roswell Nissan will be giving away Graves Farm Pumpkin Patch and Hayride tickets and haunted house passes. Drawing at 3 p.m. sharp, must be present to win. Truck or Treat, Saturday, October 21st at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Israel says it has drone video and other evidence proving it was a terrorist missile that leveled a hospital in Gaza. Hamas has blamed Israel. The BBC's Jeremy Bowen says hundreds were killed.
The missile hit the hospital not long after dark.
Ya Allah! Ya Allah! Ya Allah!
You can hear the impact. The explosion destroyed Al Akli Hospital. The building was flattened.
President Biden arrived in Israel earlier today.
I want to say to the people of Israel, their courage, their commitment, their bravery is stunning. It's really stunning. I'm proud to be here.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
After arriving in Tel Aviv, the president met one-on-one with Prime Minister Netanyahu before gathering with Israel's war cabinet.
This will be a different kind of war because Hamas is a different kind of enemy.
We will continue to have Israel's back as you work to defend your people.
The president expressed horror over the atrocities carried out by Hamas terrorists, even as he spoke of the need to help innocent Palestinians caught in the middle of the conflict.
To Capitol Hill, where the House of Representatives remains without a speaker. In yesterday's first round of voting, Congressman Jim Jordan fell short in his bid for the speakership, but the Ohio Republican is not throwing in the towel.
We're going to keep going. I've had great conversations, great discussions with our colleagues, and frankly, no one in our conference wants to see any type of coalition government with Democrats. So we're going to keep working, and we're going to get to the vote.
20 Republicans refuse to support Jordan. Another vote is planned for late morning. In the meantime, all business in the House is on hold. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 144 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Beijing has lodged a strong protest over updated U.S. export controls aimed at blocking exports to China of advanced computer chips and the equipment used to make them.
China's Commerce Ministry said the controls were improper and urged that Washington end them as soon as possible. The remarks were in response to questions about revisions of U.S. export controls meant to counter the use of such chips for military applications. They include the development of hypersonic missiles and artificial intelligence.
Correspondent Jeremy House. German police say a Berlin synagogue has been targeted by attackers armed with Molotov cocktails. Anti-Semitic incidents in the German capital have been on the rise following the outbreak of war in the Mideast. The synagogue was attacked early today with 2 incendiary devices. The complex in the center of Berlin houses a synagogue, a kindergarten, a yeshiva, and a community center. News and analysis, townhall.com. Can you really trust those online product reviews? Some of the most popular travel and shopping platforms are joining forces, hoping to make sure that you can.
Amazon reviews sites Glassdoor and Trustpilot, as well as travel companies Expedia Group, Booking.com, and TripAdvisor, announced they're launching a group called the Coalition for Trusted Reviews. The company said the coalition will look for best practices for hosting online reviews and share methods how to detect fake ones. Phony reviews have long plagued online marketplaces despite their efforts to eradicate it. Keith Peters reporting.
As the war in the Mideast rages, Ukrainian President Zelensky confirms the United States has quietly delivered a small number of long-range ballistic missiles to Ukraine. Kiev says the missiles were urgently needed and it has started to deploy them. Zelensky says they have proven effective against the Russians. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the middle of the week. Hope it is going amazingly well for you.
Oh, yeah.
We got
sun's up, sun is warm, grass is greenish.
Yeah, green light.
Green adjacent.
You know, though, our trees are still green.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you look at the leaves, they're not quite fall-like yet.
No. Well, we haven't really hit the temperatures for them to have that die-off yet.
I just feel like it's mid-October. We should start seeing that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No. Well, then head to the northeast. Or head to the northeast, if that's what you want.
Of course, the problem is also, like, upper 80s, 90 all week, too. That'll delay that a little bit. But
yeah, trees are like, I don't know what to do, man.
Once they get that first frost or whatever it is, then we'll start seeing the leaves and everything change.
Oh.
But brought a puppy. Brought a puppy. We know that guy. They know that guy. In case you haven't guessed, Crystal Noble will be here in a few minutes. She brought she didn't bring her husband this time. She brought a dog.
That's not the sound of John. That's not John's noises.
Actually, that's your sister's dog, isn't it? Yeah, that's her sister. Did you exchange dogs again? Okay. Yeah. Every time this dog needs a little doctor visit, they do a switcheroo.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Well, moist.
Yeah.
Really has calmed down some.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great.
She climbed in the elevator on her own today.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So she's getting a little more comfortable being around here and all that. So
she didn't make you take the stairs.
She's a Great Dane that's a big scaredy cat. But a cool dog.
Well, look at that tail. She's tucked. I mean,
she's a little nervous. Probably my loud.
We all
laughing.
get nervous when we get on the radio.
I get loud and boisterous, and that tends to make people uncomfortable sometimes.
My hand. The thing is, I was eating saltine crackers right before I got on the air, so my hand kind of smelled like crackers. That's when she came over to me.
She's like, "Ooh, salt."
Mm-hmm. It's like, you smell like food.
She just had breakfast too.
Well, that night.
Well, she's a dog.
All
dogs, they'll eat him whenever.
I also always keep sausages in my pocket. That could also be an indicator. Not for any specific reason, just, you never know when you need a sausage.
Dude, give me some of your tots.
I missed what you said, Chris. Sorry.
Oh, I said keep dukes in your pocket at all times. All dogs will like you.
Oh, yeah, them shorty sausages? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically, those things are sausages for humans.
People, yeah, kind of. That's what I do with Slim Jims. Always keep a Slim Jim handy. You never know when you need to slap into a Slim Jim.
Did I do my phone? I did not. I was very disappointed when I bit my first Slim Jim and it didn't snap like that.
No.
Maybe grab my phone because I have to pull up the thing I was talking about.
Well, and that, to be honest, when you came to smoked meat products that are like in the world of jerky and all that, I was introduced through the Slim Jim because that's what the liquor store near my house always had. And this is why I grew up drinking Donald Duck orange juice. And the Slim Jim was also a staple at said liquor store. And I'm one of the few people that used to eat Hershey's ice cream in a pint-sized cardboard carton.
Mm-hmm.
Remember
Always freezer burned.
Always freezer burned.
Always just freezer burned, just right to hell.
Yeah, and then right in there they had those. They had Chipwiches that looked like they were from Salem.
Mm-hmm.
But the piece de la resistance that I always dug in there and had, and they were always fresh, and they were always delicious. God's greatest gift to ice cream, the Choco Taco.
Oh, yeah. Only recently discontinued.
I know.
I don't know what Klondike was thinking.
The Choco Taco.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. When the Ice Cream Man carried Choco Tacos,
oh yeah,
it was the most baller thing in the history of ice cream.
It's like there's something you said a while back that actually that has like set with me.
Mm-hmm.
You knew you were at a good gas station if you had, like you said, the Choco Taco, but more specifically, if they had cherry Coke on the fountain.
Oh yeah, then you were like,
they know what they're doing.
Now the liquor store I had, no fountain drink. Oh no. It was all brown or old, and racks of things. There was the ginormous jar of pickled pig's feet. Maybe, I think there was a second one with maybe some pickled eggs, depending on the season. And the other thing,
it's not pickled egg season.
And the other thing, and this is before the world of Super Soakers and all that, they had a toy section like right to the side that was about 3 feet long and 6 feet wide, and they carried those stupid paddles with the ball, and
they're called paddle ball.
Yeah, the squirt guns that leaked. But
oh yeah,
they had everyone from ones that were about the size of about 3 inches to something that you could almost hold with 2 hands. But they were all the old school. Pulled out that little plastic plug that had a little dangly thing to keep it from falling out. Fill it with water, and it's clear green or yellow or red or blue usually.
And you spray that water in your mouth, and it always came out tasting like plastic.
Yeah. And there was always
you were. That's where you got your forever chemicals, like from the first time.
Yeah, but after a while, it just tastes like garden hose. That's where we filled it.
That's what it tastes like.
Yeah. And the other thing was, the first time you buy it, you had about a 50-50 chance that the seal, where they seal the plastic together, wasn't leaking.
If your hand was wet, you knew. At that point, you just throw the gun.
However, one of the greatest toys of that got me in the most trouble came out of that rack, and it was the water rocket.
Oh, really?
Remember the water rocket?
I do.
It was that red, same clear plastic as the squirt guns. And then you filled it with water, and it had a little bike pump thing that you attached it to, and then you pumped it about 1,000 times. That sucker would fly.
It would, yeah.
It would go through windows. It would create dents in vehicles.
Yeah.
That thing was amazing.
Not a lot of guidance on them water rockets.
No. Hence the reason I got in trouble with it.
And trust me, we weren't as kids very worried about the ideas of physics.
Yeah.
Or the arc and trajectory of this projectile.
And the weird part was, made out of that same plastic as some squirt guns, I could not get that thing to break. Like I'd literally, it would hit all kind of stuff. Oh, let's fill her up, do it again.
Sometimes they know which products need the love and the attention.
Yeah. And, that was my. Oh, and the other big thing that I loved out of there was the paratroopers. Remember those?
I could never get them to work right.
The little guys with the parachute?
Those got me in trouble because I would. So the bedroom I slept in was also my parents' room. We had like a split room, and the window was like out onto the first landing of the roof. It was a 2-story house, and I used to get in trouble for getting out there all the time. And I would do the little army men, but it would never work. I could never get them to work.
No, I got them to work.
Come to find out, you're supposed to take the rubber band off.
Yes.
See, that was the mistake I made. I was just like hurling men to their deaths with improper equipment.
Yeah. Well, they died about 1,000 times, but sometimes they worked. You know, because we'd either play with them indoors or outdoors out in the backyard, or that. And our house at the time was one of those split level houses. You know what I'm talking about? So if you're at the top of the one split level, you had like a 2-story drop,
right?
For parachute guys, and so that was like sick days. We'd be doing that.
Hey.
But the other toy, and I'm done. I got to get Crystal on here. The balsa wood flyers. You remember those little bubbles? And then the high tech ones had the little propeller.
You would try to honestly, I would try to put it together.
Yeah.
It would I'd break something on it.
No, I get them to fly, but they after about 5 minutes they're on the roof of one of the houses. Either my friend's house or my house.
If you have the one with the rubber band propeller, them things would haul.
Yeah, they always end up on the roofs of houses. So. All right, it is 8:15. Crystal's here. I just went down reminiscing lane of the liquor store, of which I ate my Dino Duck orange juice, and my balsa wood flyers, and
Jay just went and got comfortable. So
and
she was like, he's gonna talk for a while. I'm gonna lay down.
Choco tacos. All right, here's 8:15. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Staying pretty nice over the next couple of days. Temperatures will be warming up a little bit. Upper 80s to about 90, and sunshine today with high pressure over our area. A little bit breezy. Clear tonight and down to a low of 50, and then we're in the low 80s for the afternoon high on Thursday, and we keep the sunshine. Clear Thursday night, warming up again on Friday, upper 80s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 53 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 57%. Winds are currently out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. We are looking at sunny skies today and a high of 87. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Clear tonight, overnight low of 51 degrees. Northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For Thursday, sunny, 84 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, clear skies, overnight low of 52. Friday, sunny and 89. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for the weekend, sunny and 90 for Saturday. And Sunday, more of the same, sunny and 90. And then we'll be in the mid-80s Monday, drop into the mid-70s with some rain chances on Tuesday of next week. So we'll see how that shapes up. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take a 4-minute break. And then Crystal Noble will join us from the Roswell Humane Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agger told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
A dining set is the staple of family gatherings. It's where you spend holidays, where you help your kids with their homework. It's an entertainment setting for game nights or new recipes. Your dining room is a centerpiece of style and design. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Here at Glenn's, we bring quality to the modern dining room. Our selection is extensive with clean lines and subtle curves, from traditional to contemporary with wood or stone tops. Stylize your dining room at Glenn's on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Get your summer grilling on with delicious homegrown beef from Runyon Cattle Beef. Get top choice grade A meat in whole, halves, or quarters delivered to your home freezer and experience the difference between store-bought and 100% locally grown Runyon Cattle Beef. Need seasoning? No problem. Runyon Cattle Beef's very own red meat seasoning and cactus salt are included with all beef orders. For pricing, orders, or more information, call Lisa Runyon at 575-760-5655 today.
Check out some of the free holiday savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Assorted gallons of Red Diamond iced tea are 2 for $5, and assorted gallons of Blue Ribbon Classics ice cream are $3.98 each. In produce, 5-pound bags of russet potatoes are $1.99 each, and large green bell peppers are 3 for $1. In the meat department, baby back pork ribs are $2.77 a pound, and family packs of fryer breasts are 99 cents a pound. These are just some of the free holiday bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
If you thought it was cooling off, think again. The deals are just heating up at Roswell Ford. Get savings across the lot on a great selection of new F-150s, Super Duty Ford trucks, Broncos, and Raptors. Get zero down, no payments for 90 days, and 0% on select vehicles now through October 31st. The aggressive lenders at Roswell Ford will take any trade, any condition, even if you owe thousands more than your car's value. And they'll work hard to get you approved. The deals are just heating up at Roswell Ford, the home of Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us officially in studio this morning, Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, enjoying the cool down.
It is nice, even though it's kind of warmer for the cool down this week. But it's not 105. It's just
I'll take the 80s over 100s any day.
You can stand outside and not melt.
But it's a different 80 now.
That's true. It's got a little cooler breeze to it and little
when it's
fall Christmas.
Summer 80, it's still hot.
Yeah.
But we're fall 80, so it's more like a crisp, breezy.
Yeah. It's got a
creep
coolness,
up on you.
It's got a coolness in the smell and the
It does. I love the way the mornings smell when I leave for work.
Yeah.
When I can smell, because, allergies are real bad, but you walk out and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. But, it is that. You're true. That is true. It's way better, than 85 in July. Usually it's raining when that happens in July. But
and then 125% humidity.
Yes, exactly. So enjoy it while we have it here. But that being said, this is a great time. Like if you want to
dog walking
and come visit our animals and take them outside when this is that time of year. This is the sweet spot for it. And this is like if you like lot of volunteers if you just want to come and walk the animals and interact, that's a great thing. But a lot of times you get folks that maybe live in an apartment, they're dog lovers, but their home is just not conducive to own a dog. So come visit. You can take dogs into the family room there and play with them and get them just human. The more interaction with humans, the better, the more social, the more adoptable these dogs come.
And the smaller dogs are the ones that need the most socialization.
Okay. They're the ones that are more skittish around people and things.
They are.
Bigger dogs love everybody.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There are some bigger dogs that obviously don't adapt well.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more socialization we can give them, the better it helps them. But the majority of it is little dogs.
Okay. I imagine it's a PTSD thing for the dogs. Like if a bigger dog that had some bad experience with people will probably be more shy dog.
Right.
Versus a dog that never experienced that. And little dogs, they just tend to Little dogs they're all bark and no bite. That's kind of what most of them. Some are. But once you crack that tough exterior nut, then they're your buddy. It's just they got to act tough till they realize you're not a threat to them.
They have to keep the little dog or big dog syndrome going.
Yeah. So they gotta walk tall and carry the big stick until they realize you're not a threat.
Right.
So by you coming and just trying to make headway and get these dogs in an environment where they feel comfortable around you, that's going to make them more likely to visit other strangers and warm up to them quicker than it would normally take. So this is a great way for you to help especially these dogs that get a little long time in there, where they get a little institutionalized, where they're there 6 months and more. Those dogs really need that love. They really need that. We don't want them to get jaded to a point where life for them is in a cage.
Right.
And so by you coming and walking them or playing with them and just giving them some love is really great for the mental side of these pets.
And it also helps them when it comes time for adoption to be able to interact with a new person easier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's less stressful for every new person that the dog meets.
Sure. Well, and I would even argue too that, especially some of these dogs that have been here a longer time, dogs are territorial. Like once they know that's their home, they're going to defend it.
Right.
So you're getting a little bit of that too.
I have my temporary dog, and she guards my office. Like, she goes to work with me every day, and so she doesn't let anybody come in my office unless I tell her it's okay. But she guards the office. Like, that's her domain.
Yeah.
From 8 to 5, that is hers.
Yeah. Cats are the same way, by the way.
They
just
are.
in different ways, To be honest, I was reading a whole thing. You know how sometimes cats love to bum rush into the bathroom with you and all that?
Yes.
Sure, some of that's for attention. That's part of it. But also that's a sign of love and protection. Like what they know you're in there going to the bathroom. They know that's your most vulnerable time. So a lot of them will be on lookout for you, is what they're instinctually, that's what they're doing. And so, sometimes it's just to get love and attention. But if you just kind of see them sitting off to the side, like my cat Hannah, every time comes in, does a whole thing. And once I've done petting her, and I'm like, all right, I got to do what I got to do here. Leave me alone.
It is my time.
She literally sits behind our shower curtain and just waits for me to finish. And that's.
So she's ready to pounce.
Yeah, she's actually in her protect mode. That's what they're doing. It's actually a sign of love.
Or they're waiting for you to turn your back so they can pounce on you.
Right.
They're like, I'm going to get you when you're so vulnerable.
It's down in there. But that's animals. That's what they do.
They do.
So once you understand some of that, then a lot of the behavior makes sense. And you kind of appreciate it. You're like, oh, that's a sign of that they're trying to show that they're connecting to me.
Well, it's funny because when I take her outside to go potty, I take her in the backyard. And she'll go outside and she'll walk around and she'll look for me. And if I move, she comes back over to me.
Interesting.
And she's like, nope. So I have to stand still in one spot because she has to be able to see me. And then she's like, okay, I can do my business because you're watching my back. But if you're moving around, you're not watching my back.
It's like, hey, you ain't got my six if you're doing that. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And so she can see our horse from the backyard. And the majority of the time he's out farther in the pasture. But when he comes up closer, she's like, is this okay? She's like, I'm not sure about this. Is this okay?
Yeah. And that's to me, that's the best part of being an animal.
Right.
Having an animal as part of your life and all that is, is those connections and being able to find that kinship and bondship when you don't have a common language to connect with.
Right.
It's
when she doesn't understand my wolf and I don't understand her wolf. I thought that wolf meant something else.
Yeah, exactly. And so that to me is the beauty of being a pet owner and being all that, is to make that, and I think it helps in other aspects of your life too. But
it does.
That being said, when you come down to the Humane Society and adopt, and you got to remember that. And we say this every single time you are seeing the animals, and it doesn't matter if you're in the Humane Society or animal control or any of our rescues. If you're in there looking at pets, you're seeing them at their worst. You're seeing them in jail, basically. And they're not going to be always the most affectionate or even, they're going to look sometimes stressed and disheveled because they're out of their comfort zone. Once you get them home, and you'll see the real personality and character of that.
A lot of times people will call us later on to update us on how an animal is doing, and they'll be like, this is the most affectionate dog, but also the most protective dog. Like, they become like a very good family protective dog.
They get it. They know that you brought him home and gave him a whole world.
Right.
And they show that love.
We had he was like a hound lab mix. His name was Buddy. And when he got adopted, it was with a family that had 2 little kids.
Okay.
And like, they were eye level to him, so he's like, "You are mine," like right away. And it was so sweet. And she had called us like 6 months later on, and she's like, "Hey," she goes, "we have something for you. We want to bring it by." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, they had taken Christmas photos with Buddy and the kids, and they got Buddy matching pajamas to match the kids.
Oh, nice.
Well, he's sitting on the couch, and the kids are sitting next to him, and he's got a paw on each one of the kids. He's
kind of like embracing around
like
the arm.
This, but he's like this.
That's cool.
And so they all came in, and they brought Buddy down, and he comes in, and he's all happy. And I went to say something to the little boy, and he stood right in front of the little boy and pushed him back.
Oh, wow.
I was like, "All right, good boy." And so she said that when they go to the park, her husband has to walk Buddy on the other side, because if anybody talks to the kids or her, he gets right in between and pushes them back.
Nice.
And he doesn't growl or bark.
Now, did
or nothing.
Buddy remember you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. He's like, "Oh, hi." But you're not touching the kids. You're not talking to the
Right.
kids.
He's like, "Hey, these are my people now."
Yeah.
And
you talk to me. You come through me. But like, and she said, like, if once like they start talking to somebody, and if they tell Buddy it's okay, then he'll like, okay, like you can whatever.
Right. Once the kids or the family kind of says they're safe, they're good, then he lets down his guard a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he always meets the UPS man door in the window, and the UPS man has to wave at him before he stops barking at him. So he honks the horn, waves at him, and then Buddy knows, okay,
this dog's cool in the game.
it's my UPS guy. So if they have another UPS guy, she said they don't know the routine, and he just goes nuts. He's like, "You're not coming on my porch. There might be a glass here, but you're not coming on my porch."
They're gonna need a sign. Just wave at him, and he'll stop.
Yeah, honk, wave, he'll stop. She said, and they didn't know it, and they have the Ring camera. And so, like...
So they see the pattern.
They see the pattern.
Yeah.
And so they were home one day, and the UPS guy said, "Do you know the only way I can get your dog not to bark at me is if I honk the horn to let him know it's me, and I wave as I'm walking up. He knows it's me." He's all, "If I could give him a treat through the window, I'd have given him a treat." Yeah. And she started laughing. She goes, "He doesn't need them. He's really plump."
He's well fed on those.
But it's funny because he just picked up that routine.
And I love that I'm going to be willing to bet the UPS guy is a dog owner or a dog. He's got a lot of experience with dogs to know that. You know what I mean?
Or he's been chased a time or two.
Learned the hard way. But, because he caught the pattern and he knew. He's like, this dog is doing its job. It's all it's doing.
Yeah.
And if I can crack that armor a little bit, we'll be fine. And kind of figured that way.
Yeah,
so.
She said they got to introduce Buddy to the UPS guy one day. And they had some treats they handed him, so that way they could give him to him.
Uh-huh.
And he was just like, "Oh, my buddy, oh, my buddy." Like, he was like the happiest thing ever, because all the Amazon boxes the boxes that were coming were his Chewy boxes.
Ah.
So he knew, you're bringing my stuff.
Right.
He recognized the Chewy
it's
on the
like
box.
that one Chewy commercial, like the peanut butter box is here.
Yes.
That one. Well, that's cool. But again, this goes back to, this is what the cool part about incorporating a pet into your family is all about.
It is
such a good thing. And if dogs aren't you don't live in a place that's conducive to that, maybe look at a cat. Cats are amazing animals, and despite their brains function and work a little different than dogs do, but as far as all the things that people say about cats, like they just let you live together and all this, no, they will build that same love and respect and trust that dogs do. Someone's feeling good, got up for a minute.
Yeah. She's like, "You're talking too much about dogs."
That's right.
You're not talking enough about me.
But so please come. Now, that being said, now we are in the middle of Halloween in October. Yes. So if you want a all black or all white cat, we're still a few weeks away before we're going to release
November
those.
7th will be the official release date before any all black or all white cats can go for adoption.
Yep. And if you want to ask why, talk to the Humane Society. They'll be happy to tell you the reason
We
why.
currently don't have any all white cats.
Okay.
We do have plenty of all black cats, but not all white.
So if you come to the Humane Society and you see some black cats online.
We have them moved out of.
Okay. Can you see them online at least?
No, our website is being a slight temperamental and won't it'll upload the information,
Okay.
but it's not uploading the photos.
Okay, I gotcha.
So we're trying to get that figured out.
Okay, well, when that gets rectified, they'll upload those photos. Yeah. But if you'll just have to wait till after the month's over here to get those cats, and it's because
not far.
People do weird things with those particular colored cats around this time of year. So
And if you've noticed a few vehicles around town that have some very satanic things on their vehicle, they might be part of that group.
Yeah, and just gee whiz information. If you are an owner of an all black or all white cat, please make sure they stay indoors. Yeah, you shouldn't be outdoors anyway, but make doubly sure that they are this time, because you let your cat out at night to go do its thing, hunting, whatever it's into. These people are probably walking around the neighborhoods looking for stuff like that.
And a lot of people have asked in the past, why don't they, go for like stray cats? Because they can't handle stray cats.
Yeah.
And they have to be able to handle the cats.
You ever tried to get one of these stray cats in the alley, the feral cats? If you win that fight, you're going to look like you were in a fight, regardless.
Right.
Even if you win it, you're going to look like you're in a fight.
Right.
So, path of least resistance. That's what they're doing there.
But we have, I have a cat transport coming up this Monday, and I only have like 3 cats that will be coming right out of quarantine afterwards. We've had really good adoption rates with cats. Like as soon as they're coming out of quarantine, they're going up, and the ones going to Albuquerque are ones going into foster because they're still pretty small. And
okay, so it's your younger ones and things. Because I always want to remind people, like, don't forget the older cats and dogs.
Yeah,
the ones they're usually the hardest, or handicapped or disabled cats. And every once in a while, you get a 3-legged cat or dog in there, or a blind dog or cat.
And it's really weird because we had a 3-legged dog for the longest time, and nobody realized she was 3-legged because it was one of her back legs.
Okay,
but she did not
limp or anything.
Nothing.
So unless you saw her full body, you were like, "Oh, that's a 3-legged dog."
Yeah. So unless she would be out walking around and you could see all four sides of her, all sides of her, you wouldn't realize it because she didn't act like it.
Okay. Oh, I got to ask, speaking of, because last week, y'all put an adorable Siamese cat.
He's already adopted.
I was about to say, is that the cat found a home?
He found a home, yes.
Because my wife and I were looking at it, I was like, you sure you don't want a third cat? I was like, you know what? I would consider it, but it's a boy. And we got 2 girls. I don't know how that, because that
mission in process. I will start sending you pictures of all the female Siamese. I know you want to keep the females. I will send you. We get a ton of them.
Because it almost got us. We were looking at that. We're like, oh, what a cute cat.
All right.
Oh, my gosh.
What about a third, second tortoise show?
Oh my God! Me personally, I'm okay with it. I'm just worried what world that's going to do with my other 2.
But a kitten?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to make them get up. It's going to make them run. It's going to make them angry. And then they're going to want to hide. And then they're going to beat the crap out of it.
My cats are spoiled. They're not going to be like embracing the kitten as like, hey, let me come into the fold.
They might if the kitten's like, oh, mommy like.
Yeah. It would have to be an amazing kitten to do. But you know what? We are suckers. I'm not going to lie. If you do it, we probably will cave at some point.
Oh, I know. I know Kim, too. Be like, hi.
But that Siamese, we both saw it that day last week. And we're like, oh, because it was just a photogenic cat. I don't know what that picture that y'all took. It was like straight out of a.
Cats are the hardest to get photos of.
But that cat was so photogenic. It looked right out of a magazine.
Out of like the 5 photos posted, it took like 150 to get those 5 photos.
I would have guessed.
So, anytime you see cat photos, just know that that's taken us like a whole hour just to get that cat
Respect
photoed.
to the process, because that photo, it almost got it. I was like, oh my God, the eyes, the whole, it was just literally like, please adopt me.
Yeah. But we get in a lot of Siamese kittens, and we get in a lot of females.
It was a beautiful cat, and it just looked so like loving in a house. It'd be such a great.
I'm just gonna start sending you photos of all the female cats that come in. Look at this one. Look at this one.
Well, unfortunately, I have a little more willpower than my wife. Well, the wife is the real. Like, if she gets it set, then we're getting a cat. I have no say in that point.
I will make sure that it gets delivered to her personally.
If she's got it in her head, then it's a done deal. If I get it in my head, it's we got to convince her. But once it's in her head, it don't matter a thing I say or do. We're getting the cat.
Well, there's a possibility.
Yeah.
that there could be a third cat in Mike's future.
Well, you'll hear the stories on the radio because that's what I do. So I come in looking like I got attacked by a bunch of crows or something with all the scratches. You know what happened.
Mike got a kitten.
I got to be honest, though. Pull back the curtain. If y'all looked at my upper thighs and to my knee, it kind of looks like I'm an abuse victim because of all the cats on my lap, and they leap off and could scratch me every single time.
So when I don't have my calmer niece, you know, and we have our dogs, our Great Dane Titus is tall enough that his tail runs straight across the small of my back. And his tail's always going. You know, it's just whap, 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 whap. It's a whip. So for the longest time, I had a continuous bruise across the back of the lower part of my back, and then right under my butt cheek, because it either swings high or it swings low. And I was like, God, it looks like somebody's beating the crap out of me, like with a belt. Like I'm back in like slave days.
It's just like those moves where you see like a drop of water hitting a rock for thousands of years and the dent it's created in that same thing.
Yeah. And then like I'll have bruises like on my thigh from his paws, because when he sits on the couch, he has to put a paw on me. And so his paw's like my hand size.
Yeah.
And he pushes and I'm like,
It's like, hey, I appreciate the contact and you got to touch. It's like,
I love you, but get your big old meat paws off me.
Just rest your head on my shoulder. That's way more comfortable.
And he has the boniest butt of any dog I have ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
He has meat through his entire body except his tail and his butt cheeks. It is all bone.
Yeah.
And those are his defenses. He's all, but.
That's like those cats with their legs and their feet. When they stand up and it's like, oh, you're hitting the bony parts.
Yeah. It's like they know exactly where to push.
Yeah, exactly. And on occasion, Bella's the notorious one. When it's time to get up from my lap and she leaps off, she always pushes in that special spot that guys really, really don't like them pushing off on. And every once in a while, I double over in pain. Like, what's the matter? I was like, cat.
So, our little dog Honeybee is infamous for using John's lap as a launching pad. So if he's sitting down, he always has a pillow.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
Probably smart. I'm too stupid to do that.
Well, she does like figure 8 zoomies around the house and goes just into this whole crazy mode. And so she'll run up the couch and run across John and then leap off and then hit that side of the love seat and come back over. So he's just like...
Yeah, Bella will do that with the couch. She'll tear up, and our couch is in the corner, and there's like a little gap about that much between the couch and she'll run across the back and then dive down that little, like without even missing a beat. She's just like down that hole. I'm like, whoa! And then she shoots out the side and back around. But anyway, yeah. Again, this is that fun of having animals in your home. The cats, the dogs, it doesn't matter here. As far as the dog side, can we spotlight a few dogs that we need homes right now?
Well, I have Angel, which is still a small dog.
Okay.
And then we have Willow, which is a small terrier mix.
Okay.
We have... trying to think. Angel and Willow are the 2 smaller dogs. When you first walk in, you see them.
Okay.
We still have the bigger lab Willow, and then her sister Sapphire.
Labs are great dogs. We need a good family dog.
They're lab pit mixes, but they're both super sweet, super affectionate.
My sissy was a lab pit mix and the best dog I've ever had my family.
They've been there since March of this year.
Good deal.
And they're sisters.
They're such...
They
all
are
the
most...
things we were talking about earlier about the protection and loyalty to the family, that lab pit mix... To be honest, both of those breeds, that's ingrained in them. That's what they do. They're protectors. They're like, if you raise a pit right, it is the most loving family dog you will ever have. I'm telling you right now, it's all about the owner on those things. I know people get scared and things like that.
They are very friendly. They are friendly with other dogs. They love to go for walks. I can't remember if it's Willow or Sapphire. One of them's a little bit more pudgier, and the other one's a lot more musky. So one looks like a lab, and one looks like a
One's
pit.
got the pit barrel.
One's muscular and one's hunkier.
What about the face and stuff? Like Sissy, my Sissy had like lab here, but pit here.
Exact same.
She had the shorter nose.
Exact same.
Yeah.
Exact same.
Yeah, beautiful.
And they're
dogs.
red.
Okay, so they got
red.
more of that red color. Okay, so it's got more
the pit.
The pit colors.
For
yeah.
the coloring, yeah.
Yeah, because labs are either black, yellow, or sometimes have a whitish color. But they don't go red.
No, unless they get dyed.
Yeah.
But they're the sweetest. They are just a good dog for a family.
Yeah.
They don't really seem to be affected by too much. You know, they're just like, well.
They roll with the punches generally, but they're loyal to a fault almost. They will be there for you.
Yep.
They will, especially with, and I'm telling you, they're good with kids. You train the kids to not do dumb things to the dog and things like that, and work with. But even still, with lab in them, I've seen kids tug on the ears and the tails, and the dog just lays there like, okay, you know what I mean? It understands when a child is, Again, it's all on how you interact and how you raise that dog.
Right.
But I will tell you, that dog will be your best friend, your protector, your loyal brother, sister, uncle, whatever you want to call it in your family. That dog will be it. I'm telling you right now.
When push comes to shove, that dog is going to be right there in the middle.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm telling you, you there's a bond there that is all you do is give it some love and some guidance, and you will find you will have someone that will die for you.
Pretty much.
That will literally die for you. So
pretty much.
It's just it's a cool feeling, and as a dog owner, that's that bond thing. Like, I love cats, I love dogs, but dogs have that. That's what separates dogs from cats. Is you get the loyalty and trust of a dog, they will die for you. A cat will hang out with you till the end, but will not die for you.
No, they're going to be like, all right, new master.
It's like time to jump off into the volcano. Like, good luck to you.
Yeah. They're like, I'm going to go find a new master.
The dog will be like, you ready to do this? Let's do it. So,
right. The cat's like, here, let me help you.
Yeah, exactly. But that's really, so please, when you come in and you're looking for, please think in that term. Is if you're not ready to make this pet fully integrated into your family, then maybe it's not the time to adopt a pet. And we want to adopt every one of these pets and make sure but if you're not prepared to be a full-fledged owner of this pet, then maybe you shouldn't adopt a pet. Start with a fish or a hamster or something that doesn't quite require the love and maintenance
or expense, because they are expensive.
Fish are cheap for the most part, depending
we
on what
can
kind of fish you
discuss
get.
expenses with this one right here.
Yeah.
She's already
that's as much as a human, I bet.
5,000 in, and she's only 2 years old. So
yeah, you, especially dogs, bigger dogs, well, cats too. It is. You're going to be. It's like raising a child. The only difference is you don't send them to college at the end. That's the difference.
Well, you could call it sending them to college when it's the final time of their stages, but the Rainbow Bridge sounds a little bit better than I sent my dog to college.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's the hardest part. Is when
it
it's
is.
over.
That is the hardest part of anything is having to say goodbye and having to make that decision.
Yeah. So maybe if that's a big issue for you, go with the cats. Cats generally have a little bit. They got a few more years usually than dogs.
Littler dogs and cats live 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And cats will even
20.
go. Yeah. Sometimes cats will go in the 25 years depending on the breeds and the life it led.
Right.
It is absolutely so.
Thrift store.
Yes, let's talk thrift store.
So they have more Halloween costumes out.
Good.
They have a lot of Halloween decor.
I'm telling you right now, before you go any place to buy anything new for Halloween, decor, costumes, the pumpkins to carry candy, any of that stuff, go to the thrift store.
They have it, and it's cheap.
You're going to save money. You're going to spend a third of what you would have if you bought it new somewhere else.
So they do have a ton of the trick-or-treat buckets. They have a ton of Halloween decor. Costumes are $2 to $5. Some of them are brand new and
that's the thing. They either won once or not at all.
If you are one of those DIY people and you like to make your own things, they have a ton of wicker baskets so you can make your own.
Okay.
They have
or save them for fall if you got like fall stuff ideas you want to do here.
Right. Yeah. They had a ton of football jerseys. Roswell High, Goddard High, Mountain View, Sierra, Brendo donated.
Oh, nice.
hundreds of them.
Oh, cool.
With
So if you want to
no
show
names on the back.
Okay.
Just the school information.
So if you want to show your love on Friday nights to your team, and
or coaches, if you guys need extra jerseys
some
for
practice
the kids.
jerseys or something, or giveaways to give to fans or something, come reach out. Yeah.
Yes. Now, if you are like most people, and like
or collectors, maybe there's some jersey collectors, and they're looking for old Coyote or old local school jerseys, and you might find what you're looking for there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
She has an entire rack of them and then boxes.
Or maybe you're starting a local restaurant or something. You want to put some local love on your walls and stuff.
Or
grabbing
if you
some of
want
these
to
jerseys,
be fun and have your staff wear,
yeah, make it Uniform Fridays. Everyone wears your Coyote or Goddard jerseys or whatever.
Whoever's
you got there.
playing home, wear their jerseys.
Yeah, you got enough of them.
Starting on the 21st only, all Halloween will become half off.
All right, 21st only.
21st
Here
only.
in a couple days.
Yep, and then
is that Saturday?
That is Saturday.
Okay.
And then the following Saturday, the 28th, right before Halloween, all Halloween will be 75% off, and there's going to be a spooky bake sale.
Nice. Ooh. You know what that means?
I will not be in town for that one.
But there's going to be brownies and
There's going to be brownies.
Cupcakes.
Possibly.
All right.
I was told I needed to DoorDash
pies. Any pies, maybe, or pumpkin rolls?
It's probably going to be banana nut bread,
Okay.
zucchini bread.
Oh, those are awesome.
Cookies, cupcakes, brownies. I was told I needed to DoorDash a delivery so that way I could still be participating in the bake sale. I was like, I'm going to be in Albuquerque. She's like, DoorDash it. I was like, Camille. And she's like, DoorDash it. I was like, I'll just leave you money and then you could do something. And she's like, no, DoorDash it. And I'm like, I'm not baking up there and sending it down here. No.
Yeah. And how long will you be gone before the event?
I will be coming back. I'm leaving Tuesday, the 24th, and then I will be coming back the 28th or 29th.
So if you made it before you left, it won't be fresh by Saturday. Yeah. Okay,
no.
That's what I was wondering. Like, when you leaving? Like, could we? Because if it was Friday, maybe we could.
No, if it was Friday, I'd already,
Yeah, one day's fine. But
yeah,
5 days is a bit much.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
I will persuade somebody to bake something and drop it off for me.
You're not the only person in the fold that can put out some good baked goods over there. They got some other people.
But I'm the one that can put it out quick like a factory.
Yeah. You've got the system down.
Yeah. And my husband, a good friend of ours, called me a tortilla factory because I made 4 dozen homemade tortillas in less than an hour.
Nice.
Oh, no, it was sucked.
I'm impressed.
My arms and shoulders hurt. I was like, I'm not doing this no more. But they're going to do the bake sale.
Good deal.
And then we're going to have Christmas for the Pets, which is going to be Friday, November 10th.
Okay.
And Saturday, November 11th.
And if you want to get pictures and do make your greeting card.
I don't know if they're going to do the Santa anymore. The gentleman who used to do Santa his health hasn't been all that good. So I don't think they're going to do, they'll probably do a backdrop. So if you wanted to snap photos with your phone, you could.
Make a festive thing to that. We can make a backdrop for you.
But there will be a bake sale then as well on the 11th.
And you're around for that one.
I will be around for that one.
All the crystal fairs will be at that one.
Yes. If you are needing bookshelves, the thrift store has a few of them.
Okay.
Also, if you are wanting to keep winter weight off, they have a elliptical.
Okay.
And then they have weights.
Nice. Like free weight set, too.
Yeah.
So if you like the old school free weights.
Yeah. They have a lot of little exercise equipment that's been donated recently. There's one, you put your feet on it, and then you just do the whole side-to-side thing. And I'm like, I'm not balanced enough to stand on that and not fall without a stick to hold on to.
Yeah.
They have a lot of little just random exercise stuff.
Okay.
So
if
you don't want to pay the thousands of dollars for an elliptical brand new, I think she has this one for $350.
If you want to create a home gym and not break the bank doing it, you could probably do it for a third of what it would cost new.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then if you catch them on half price back sale in the room.
And it's exercise equipment. It was probably used 3 times and then hung clothes on it or something. You know what I mean? So it probably works.
Do we want to talk about exercise equipment? So my sister had this thing, and it's called a Gazelle. And my husband said, what are you doing with it? And she said, nothing. And he's like, can I borrow it? She goes, you can have it. So brought it home. It's in the front room.
Uh-huh.
He's got on it once.
Nice. Yeah. That's us. Do you have like shirts hanging off of it? Like
No. It's
depending on the room it's in.
It's in the front room.
Yeah. So probably not
I
so
was
much
like,
longer.
so you could put it right there, and you could like watch.
If that bad boy's in the
football
bedroom,
or whatever.
That bad boy's in the bedroom. There'd be hanging clothes on
If
that.
it was in the bedroom, it'd have it'd have my Whoopee blanket hanging on it.
Location. But
Yeah. So.
But if you need some and you want to do that,
if you need anything, they have a ton of other stuff there. They always have a lot of kitchenware. They always have a lot of purses, wallets, shoes galore.
If you're
clothing.
a young professional that's just getting out and you're like, oh man, I've got a real job now. I need dresses. I need suits.
Mhm.
I need business clothing. Don't go buy that brand new.
No.
Go to the thrift store. Get your whole week's worth of wardrobes for probably the cost of one outfit, and then maybe less. And
I
then
think she had a couple of 3-piece men's suits.
Okay.
That I think she had like $50 on.
yeah, you know how much those cost new? Hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
So,
some into the thousands.
Yeah, depending on if you put Armani or some of the higher, you're thousands. But even if you're just rolling down to the J.C. Penney's for a suit, you're dropping $500-$600 on a suit. Yeah,
So
it's not cheap.
They do get them in a lot. They always have a lot of dress slacks in. They have like a lot of button-up shirts, polo shirts. For women, they have like the professional bust, I don't know what those shirts are called, the buff shirts or something.
Okay.
But they always have a lot of that stuff. So instead of spending, way too much money that you could be saving.
Yeah, because in your first paycheck, you spend hundreds of dollars just buying the clothes for your job.
Right.
Go down there, you probably buy your whole week's worth of wardrobe for like $100.
Or you could get like 2 weeks worth, so you don't have to do laundry every week, and then you could have, mix-ups.
And then set your, then you can mix and match and create and do your thing and check back often. Come back every few weeks to be like, oh, they just got some new dress shirts in. Let's pick them up. Ooh, some slacks are in. I'll grab a couple of pair. And they're all, especially for guys, they're all pretty much this, black, blue, brown. You just... guys, we're kind of.
They even get those funny plaid men's
ones
in.
The more attention-seeking type suits and things like that. Yes.
I was like, oh wow. I would not, but oh wow.
Right, that's your thing. I just saw the time. We better wrap this
up. We're gonna roll over into the 9:15 hour too.
We don't want to do that. They get mad when I do that. So. But please come down to the thrift store. Again, like you said, Halloween sale this Saturday and next. Saturdays only, the 21st only, and the 28th only. Exclusive Halloween sales. However, if today's your day, you're coming to shop, you're going to save a ton of money. Go in there.
Yes, and today's Wednesday, first day open, brand new, everything out of the
That's right.
chute.
It's new stuff, and don't forget, every dime you spend in that store goes back to these animals, goes back to the Humane Society, making sure that we can continue to find homes for these animals as long as needed. So, good deal. Give the hours and everything for folks.
Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30 is for the kennels.
Yes.
The thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, and it is 10 to 4:30. If you need items picked up, call ahead of time.
Okay.
Schedule it. They'll go out. They'll pick it up.
Yes. Please don't just drop it off.
Yeah. Please, we're trying to refrain from a lot of theft.
Yeah.
And we have a lot more happening.
Theft and vandalism.
Even while we're open, and we have to leave the back garage door open to monitor because people are trying to steal stuff that people are walking up to donate. They're like, oh, I'll take that. And they're trying to take it out of their hands.
Yeah. It's
bad. Getting bad.
So please call. Let's make arrangements and do all that. And they're located on East McGaffey there.
703 is the kennels and 701 is the thrift store.
They're right next door to each other. And if you don't see an animal that resonate with you, animal control's right next door to them. Walk right in that building and take a look. It doesn't matter which building the animal comes out of.
You're saving a life.
You're rescuing a pet. That's a good thing. So good deal. Well, thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
We will see you next time.
Yes.
All right, 8:57. Let's take a quick break before news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Honey, read this. Seems Councilman Barry Foster didn't pay his water bill for over 2 years, owing almost $2,000.
How? They would have cut his water off.
State mandates the water service couldn't be cut during COVID.
This says the Fosters make around $150,000 a year, and they refuse to pay their water bill?
Since Barry Foster's been on city council, city debt has tripled. With rising crime, he voted against hiring 5 new police officers.
And the city delayed vital repairs to our drinking water system. Now, repairs repair costs have skyrocketed.
It's time for a change.
Change by voting for Carlos Marujo.
He's a supervisor at Eastern New Mexico U. Carlos knows how inflation impacts Roswell's working families.
Carlos Marujo will demand Roswell live within its means. He respects taxpayers.
We can't afford 16 years of Councilman Barry Foster.
Our Values PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Our Values PAC, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we are gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 3 Michael Kors designer purses, pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for a free entry or 3 entries with a qualified test drive. And that's not all. With new inventory arriving daily and over 100 quality pre-owned vehicles on the lot, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel. Here's Joe Salzar to tell you all about it.
Don't let vehicle pricing rumors fool you. With Roswell Honda's market-based program tool, we are making it easier than ever to get the best deal in southeastern New Mexico. And with every vehicle sold in the month of October, we will donate $50 to the Chaves County Cancer Fund.
Join us Saturday, October 28th from 10 to 1 p.m. We will have a special performance by the Charlie's Angels. Bring cash to support the cause and purchase goods from our many vendors. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund, and let's paint Roswell Honda pink.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters. The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Insisting that it does not target hospitals, Israel says it was an Islamic Jihad missile that destroyed the hospital in Gaza. Hamas is blaming Israel for the explosion, but Israel says it has video and other evidence proving it is not to blame. The BBC's Jeremy Bowen says that hundreds were killed.
Very soon, video was posted from Gaza of bodies laid out near the ruins of the hospital. So many dead, and the size of the explosion together look to be having a profound impact on what was already the most dangerous crisis in the Middle East in a generation.
And the U.S. is sanctioning a group of 10 key Hamas members as well as the terrorist organization's financial network. This as President Biden meets with Israeli officials in Tel Aviv. All House business remains in limbo as lawmakers have yet to name a new speaker. Republican Jim Jordan failed yesterday to win the speaker's gavel, but they're about to try again.
Jordan fell 17 votes short of the majority he would have needed to prevail. The Ohio Republican had initially sought to force a second vote Tuesday evening, but he ultimately pushed the vote to Wednesday. Jordan had gained some momentum, picking up endorsements from prominent players who had initially said they would not support his bid. However, during Tuesday's midday vote, 20 Republicans came out against Jordan, casting their votes for other lawmakers. It took former Speaker Kevin McCarthy 15 rounds of voting to win the gavel. That House has been without a leader for over 2 weeks, amid Republican feuding that has left the chamber paralyzed. Edwin Mora, Washington.
President Biden says Israel has agreed to allow humanitarian aid to begin flowing into Gaza from Egypt with the understanding that inspections must be allowed and the aid should go to civilians and not to Hamas. On Wall Street, stocks are in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The Russian parliament continues with plans to revoke ratification of a global nuclear test ban treaty, a move Moscow says would put it on par with the U.S.
In Russia on Wednesday, State Duma lawmakers voted unanimously to revoke ratification of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. Next week, the bill goes to the Federation Council, which has already said they will support it. There are widespread concerns that Russia could resume nuclear tests to try to discourage the West from offering military support to Ukraine. The U.S. just recently sent long-range ballistic missiles there. Many Russian hawks have spoken in favor of a resumption. The treaty bans all nuclear explosions anywhere in the world. I'm Julie Walker.
Inflation in the U.K. held steady at 6.7% last month as easing food and drink price hikes were offset by higher gasoline prices. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Rochester, New York-based National Toy Hall of Fame is 25 years old.
And the Hall of Fame announced that one extra toy will be inducted this year, chosen by fans from among 5 toys that have been finalists multiple times. On that list are the Fisher-Price Corn Popper, My Little Pony, PEZ, the Pogo Stick, and Transformers. Fans can cast 1 vote per day through October 24th on the National Toy Hall of Fame website. The winner, along with the other inductees, will be revealed November 9th. They will join past winners, including the jump rope and teddy bear, on permanent display. John Scott report.
Newly released report says that crash and fatality rates among drivers under 21 have fallen dramatically in the U.S. during the past 20 years, but young drivers are still the riskiest group behind the wheel. The report from the Governor's Highway Safety Association. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 145. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Quesadillas.
Ooh, what's that one?
That's 3 wieners. I looked it up.
Ah, nice.
I was like, let's change it up for today.
All right, good
How do I
deal.
say 3 wieners in Spanish? Quesadillas. Okay.
I feel like that's the name of a ranch.
3 wieners ranch.
Like if I had a ranch,
It's a
that's
weird
what I'd
brand,
name
man.
it. That's what I name my ranch. That's what I'm gonna name my ranch one.
I like it. 3 wieners ranch.
And you know what I'm gonna do? On the logo, it's gonna be 3 hot dog guys.
Okay.
Like in the costume. 3 of them.
Okay.
Like there.
Nice.
And it's gonna be the line from that college movie. Ask me about my
Ask me
wiener.
about
Yeah.
Ask us about our wieners.
Yeah, there you go.
Farm to table wieners.
That was what's his name?
Jonah Hill.
Who's about to be Jerry Garcia.
It's ridiculous. Have you seen him lately?
Well, he's yeah.
like Jonah Hill. He's like rail skinny. Yeah, he's like rail skinny now.
Well, they're doing a Grateful Dead movie, and Jonah Hill is scheduled to play Jerry Garcia. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't see it at first, but I'm guessing like what I don't know what stage of life they're picking up this movie from.
He also looks
so
like
like which Jerry Garcia is he? Is he like the younger? Is he the more older Jerry? You know, like which Jerry are we talking here?
That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, what part.
Although I also didn't think Harry Potter could pull off Weird Al.
And
and he did.
He really
did. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep judgment open, but I'm having a little trouble wrapping my head around Jonah Hill as Jerry Garcia. But maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Okay.
And of course, we were college kids. We were able to get backstage and hang out with them.
Oh, nice. Of course, by then they're probably pretty chill. They're a little older, and I mean, they're always laid back, but
old hippies.
yeah,
But it was fun. And then of course the next year he died.
yeah.
So we were just like, wow, we got to do that.
And I'm still of the age, barely, but I'm still of the age where I had some friends, my older friends, that were literally those guys that just followed the dead everywhere they went and sold the T-shirts for a living, basically, from concert to concert. I had a few friends. I mean, that's the very end of it. Yeah. Like my age group was kind of at the end of the heyday of the Grateful Dead stuff. Yes, right. They all turned to figures. Yeah,
just jam bands in general. So this is from the r/Grateful Dead Reddit page. It says it's been quite a while since there's been anything said about the supposed project, the Scorsese Garcia biopic with Jonah Hill.
Oh, it's Scorsese. I missed that part.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part.
It says, for all I know, it's been abandoned. I've been saying for years that a Jerry Garcia biopic done right would be incredible. So I'd love Scorsese would follow through with this project, but he's not getting any younger. So apparently he's got a lot of iron, and apparently he's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Well, he's got
right
a movie
now.
that's just coming out.
Yeah,
which looks really good.
Says
by the way.
Also, Elephant in the Room, which honestly reminded me about the film in the first place, is all the controversy going on with Jonah Hill. I never was crazy about him being cast for this role, and I would not be upset if they found someone who's a better fit.
Jonah Hill got controversy?
Well, he basically went through a really bad breakup with a girl, and it was
went nuts.
Yeah, it was. His text got released, and it was less than kind.
Dark.
Yeah, he got kind of dark. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a breakup. It's never kind when you break up.
I don't know.
Well, it was more like some of the stuff that he was sending her was like a lot of psycho, basically gaslighting her essentially.
Yeah.
Using psychobabble to make her feel like she's the victim here, or he's the victim, and she should feel sorry for him and all this. And
I got a feeling, and this is just me and my vibe, but I got a feeling Jonah Hill's like fame went to his head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely, because he was skyrocketed.
Yeah, but if you look, because I always put him in that little Judd Apatow group with because he kind of got big through the Breaking Bad and all that Judd Apatow stuff, and you look at his peers of that group. They all seem pretty like I feel like you could walk into a room and just have a conversation with them and they wouldn't, it'd be normal.
Michael Cera, Christopher Mintz-Plasse,
even crazy, what's his name? Seth Rogen. Not Seth Rogen. Yeah, Seth Rogen.
Yes,
yeah.
Rogen.
Yeah, I was thinking Joe Rogan.
Well, he's
Seth
a lot
Rogen.
more down to earth these days. Anyway,
yeah, but he gets online and yells at people for no reason.
It happens.
But Jonah Hill always, and it progresses. Like you look at him from the Superbad, the early days, you feel like he's probably that guy that you can hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
You start seeing like Moneyball, and when he starts getting to that level, you're like, even the interviews and stuff, he comes off a little bougie and little like high on himself.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Moneyball's kind of that movie that
was like
shot him.
Yeah, because that was like
stars.
his first serious movie, wasn't it? That wasn't really like an Apatow, jokey movie.
Yeah.
Unless you want to throw Funny People or some of those bad.
That was pretty much his first like foray into kind of the serious.
That's just a bad movie. That movie makes me so mad.
Funny People?
Because it's got so many stars in it, and I thought, oh, it's going to be a great romp. And I walked out of depressed and sad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler's really dark in that one too. And
I've heard people online say that Funny People was the death of the big screen comedy. Because you think about it, this is the last time you saw a real good big screen comedy. It's all superhero movies and schlock now.
So. To me, that movie is like all those guys were tired of being just funny, and like I felt like that was the movie they did to quit saying to us, quit being funny every time you see us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
we're not your clowns.
At that time, those guys were probably the top comedic, like whatever movie they put out at the box office, it was going to hit because, you attach Apatow. I mean, it was just, you just knew. And so they already hit. And so I think Funny People is that movie. It's like, stop pigeonholing us. We're trying to.
Well,
we
yeah,
could be
because
serious
after
too.
that, then you have Adam Sandler doing his.
Yeah, he does that action
Uncut
movie.
Gems.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I got
His more serious
I got a
stuff.
feeling it was just a time in all their lives where they're tired of being that guy, and so they made that movie.
Right.
That being said, that never ends well when they do that.
No.
Wasn't great.
No.
Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. As you can probably take a stab there, Andrew Moore with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce will join us here in just a few minutes. Give us an update on events. Still have a few more candidate and forums and things for folks to.
No, we wrapped up last
Did we finish
night,
all
but
up?
we'll
Okay,
give a recap.
Okay, I didn't know if we had one or two more still on the tap here, and we still have one or two more meetings for this month, and then everything shifts to November. Here.
Correct.
But we'll get all that update here
Yes.
from Andrew in just a few. Later on the hour, we get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with. Don't forget Football Friday. Another big district play continues this Friday night here at the Wool Bowl. Will be Roswell hosting Mayfield, the Mayfield Trojans. That game will be at 7 o'clock. Kickoff. Pregame will start 6:40-ish. We'll have it here on the radio, 106.5. Live streaming video, ksvptv.com and the Coyote channel. The Goddard Rockets travel to Artesia to take on the Bulldogs. The other big game Friday night. That game we will carry on both perspectives. The Goddard perspective will be at 106.1 FM Fierro for the radio. For the Artesia perspective, which you probably really can't pick up here, 990 AM. It's out of Artesia, but you can get it on the app, KSVP, if you want to just listen. Live streaming video of the game, too, both perspectives. If you want the Goddard Rocket perspective, go to the Goddard Rocket channel at ksvptv.com. If you want the Bulldog perspective, go to the Bulldog channel there. It'll be the same video. Like the video you see will be the same. The difference
The commentators
is the
will be
people
different.
talking. It'll be the Artesia guys under the Artesia feed, the Goddard guys under the Goddard feed there. So,
Makes sense.
But we'll have that all for you here as we continue into district play here. So big games. And by the way, the three top teams in state right now: Roswell Coyotes, Artesia Bulldogs, Goddard Rockets.
Oh yeah.
So we're seeing previews of championships and stuff this week. So get out there and fill the Wool Bowl up. Send the Goddard Blue Faithful to fill up the visitor side of the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia on Friday night, and we'll have it here on the radio and video for you. So, all right, it is 9:15. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
Weather this hour is brought to you by Big O Tires in Roswell. Now through October 29th, save $100 instantly on select sets of tires at Big O Tires in Roswell. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Staying pretty nice over the next couple of days. Temperatures will be warming up a little bit. Upper 80s to about 90, and sunshine today with high pressure over our area. A little bit breezy. Clear tonight and down to a low of 50, and then we're in the low 80s for the afternoon high on Thursday, and we keep the sunshine. Clear Thursday night, warming up again on Friday, upper 80s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 59 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 48%. Winds currently out of the east at 7 miles per hour. Expected to hit 87 for a high today under sunny skies. Winds will be out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 51 degrees. Northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, our cooler day, 84 tomorrow. Sunny, 84. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, skies will be clear, overnight low 52. Friday, we're pushing 90, 89 for a high on Friday, under sunny skies. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10 early. They'll shift to the southeast Friday afternoon. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're supposed to hit 90. Sunny and 90 on Saturday, sunny and 90 on Sunday. And then mid-80s Monday and mid-70s on Tuesday. They also throw in a rain chance. So there's like a 30% chance of rain Monday night and into Tuesday. But about 10 degrees cooler from there, from Monday to Tuesday. So I'm going to guess there's some wind in there, too. This is my hunch. All right, 9:17. We got to take a 4.5-minute break, pay some bills, and then Andrew Moore will join us from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce on the other side. Don't go away.
Check out some of the pre-holiday savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Assorted gallons of Red Diamond iced tea are 2 for $5, and assorted gallons of Blue Ribbon Classics ice cream are $3.98 each. In produce, 5-pound bags of russet potatoes are $1.99 each, and large green bell peppers are 3 for $1. In the meat department, baby back pork ribs are $2.77 a pound, and family packs of fryer breasts are 99 cents a pound. These are just some of the pre-holiday bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes, and insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in, and in the summer it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Rosa, have you decided where you're going to college yet?
There's so many choices. I'm still not sure.
Well, I've decided to attend the University of New Mexico. It's the only Research One university in the state. It's the flagship, and their academic programs are among the best in the nation.
The University of New Mexico? Can I still apply?
Of course. UNM is New Mexico's best university, and residents of New Mexico get preference in admission. Apply now, and we'll attend UNM together.
The University of New Mexico, New Mexico's University of Opportunity. Apply today at unm.edu.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. The time to trade up is now at Roswell Ford. Because now through the end of the month, Roswell Ford will take any trade, any condition, even if you owe thousands more than your car's value. And with a lot full of amazing deals, you can trade up and save big. Get 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and 0% on select new Ford models. With a job bringing home just $3.99 a week, Roswell Ford's aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even with bad credit or no credit. Check out a special edition Ford F-150 Raptor R, a 75th anniversary crew cab 4x4, a 2023 Ford Raptor Bronco, 2023 Ford F-150 Platinum Edition, and the new 2023 Ford F-150 Trimmer. Now is the time to trade up. Head for Roswell Ford, the home of Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell.
I read a quote once that said, "When you blame others, you give up your power to change." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
We all want to play the victim at times. It even feels good to feel sorry for ourselves. But that puts a lid on our life. It stunts our growth, it damages our marriages, and if you have children, it can even hurt them.
It can seem like a daunting task to take responsibility for our actions. But the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, we can do everything through Christ who gives us strength.
If you've never experienced the love of God, then you don't know your true potential and don't realize how good God is. When you're feeling like a victim, turn to God. He'll give you the strength to move beyond yourself and help you have a victorious marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us now officially in studio from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, as always.
Anytime. There's, of course, the Chambers is always busy right now, hot and heavy with election season. The last month, really, been kind of offering opportunities for all of the candidates for this municipal election, from the city councilors to the school board to our judge positions. All of them at some point or another has offered a meet and greet over at the chamber. So hopefully people got to take advantage of that during the time. But there's just been stuff constantly going on for the last couple months here. Really
and all we can do is provide the opportunity and the space, because the community, that's one of the things I hear, and I think you hear, and a lot of us here in the community, is where do we get information for our elections? And so, of course, starting the last city council election, I really, had thought about that and said, no, this is a great opportunity. We've got this space. Let's have these meet and greets where we're going to bring in the candidates, and then the community will have the opportunity to ask their questions and really get to know
on a one-on-one level.
Absolutely, in a way that you're not going to be able to, even if they come knocking on your door, you get more of an opportunity, because questions that are asked, I have noticed at the meet and greets, are sometimes questions that I never had even thought of. Oh, yeah. Hey, I hadn't thought about that. And so
I would imagine, too, you get some personal questions. And what I mean by that is like personal to like their neighborhood or their street or things like that. It's like, hey, we've had a light out that's been out for 10 years. Is someone going to fix this thing or something like that? Yeah.
And so we kicked it all off starting last Monday. So a week ago, Monday, with the Ward 2 candidates, which are Chris Hensley and Will Cavan. And then we also had our municipal judges, who are James Ornelas and Joe Seski. And Joe Seski is the current sitting municipal judge. And so that was really cool, and we wanted to do the judges in conjunction with Ward 2, because judges are not going to be able to answer certain questions. Like you can't ask a judge if this scenario came before you.
Yeah, you can't do what if game with a judge candidate.
Because a judge isn't allowed. Yeah. They can't even think about that unless or until the actual scenario happens.
Well, and that's just it. It's the judges, they're bound by the law on what they can and cannot do on certain things. Where the real latitude does come with history and some of the sentencing, but as far as convictions and things, you're either guilty or not guilty.
Exactly.
But so when you talk to a judge, it's really, you want to know like their philosophy on that kind of, about giving people chances, things like that. What do they? And the other side, especially in the municipal level, organizational skills, because generally the judge runs the office.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is they have a staff that handles the case and the clerk, making sure all that. But as far as the schedule and how it's all done, it's at the judge's discretion.
Correct.
The judge is kind of the office manager also as a judge.
Yeah.
So a lot of times if you ask about that kind of stuff, that's the stuff they'd be happy to talk to you and answer about. And in reality, that's the minutia of the job.
Exactly.
We all want to talk about philosophy on cases. I'm like, that's pretty much written in how it's done. It's how is the organization of the office? How do they get the caseload through?
And
that's a big judge question.
And there was a lot of discussion about what are the guidelines, for these different offenses. What are the guidelines? Because that's what they can talk about as well. Is if you come before me for shoplifting, here are the guidelines that I am bound to rule between. And so you get some understanding, because we do hear, once again, at least I do.
Yeah.
Well, we have bad judges that are just letting these people go. Why? Well,
they're kind of
when you really talk to the judges, then you understand it's not that they necessarily want to let something slide. It's that they've got guidelines themselves that they can only do certain things.
They have to uphold the Constitution just like everybody else does.
And so it was really cool to understand the difference between municipal judge and magistrate and district, because everybody knows really, I think, about magistrate and district court, that your municipal judges are even kind of slightly different.
Yeah, they're
than,
jack of all trades is what I'm really like you get at the district and these levels, they're specialized as judges. They're doing judge things all day. They're not handling the minutia of the office.
Correct.
They have people that do that. In the municipal court, it's like you want what now? No, we got the judge.
And
the
it's
judge
really
does
cool
all.
to see how quickly things will progress from municipal up to even just district court, because there's only certain cases that the municipal court is allowed to oversee.
Sure. Yeah, it falls out of their scope after a certain. But at the same token, the municipal court is that line in the defense in case, because if cases need to go to district in that level, then they're going to go through the municipal. But a lot of times the district don't need to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they can handle it at the municipal level. So it really is a filter for the higher levels of court. Too.
Absolutely. And I learned a lot, and I think I'm an above average informed person on a lot of things, but I learned a lot about specifically the court system, the municipal court system. Then Tuesday and Wednesday of last week, we had back-to-back Ward 3 and Ward 4.
Okay.
Your Ward 3 are Matt's. So Matt's going to win in Ward 3.
And Matt will win in Ward 3.
But it's Matt Thomas and Matt Chappell who are running for Ward 3. So that was really neat to get to know both the Matts.
Interesting people to talk to and listen to.
Absolutely.
So please listen to all, even if you still got to, early voting's already started, but you still got a few weeks here before
November 7th.
November 7th here. Keep doing your research, come ask questions too. If you want opinions, I'm sure of things that happened at these various meet and greets. Talk here to Andrea. She'll be happy to kind of give you what
I will
what
give
happened.
you information, and I'm even happy to forward information to the candidates and get you in contact with the candidates.
If you have not watched it yet, I highly recommend the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, which is a branch of Leadership Roswell, which is a branch of the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. They had their candidate forum here a couple weeks ago, the first part of October.
And that kind of kicked off everything we did at the chamber, because all of the candidates were at the forum, with the exception, I think, of one.
Yeah, there was one or two.
That,
a couple of the school board weren't available.
Yeah.
And I think there was one or two.
But some very informative questions, because it's not a debate.
No.
It's just, here's a question, answer it.
Yeah.
And very relevant questions pertaining to the different candidates and to the different offices that they are seeking.
So
it was very informative.
2.5 hour video. Now, good news, it's broken down by wards and categories, and you can fast forward and rewind. So the judges are first, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the wards there.
Correct.
So you can fast forward and rewind, and based on what ward you're in, you can how much fast forward you need to do. That way, if you don't want to see all, however, you live in Roswell, it might behoove you to listen to all of the candidates, because guess what? Every single one of those city councilors from every single one of the wards
are going to affect your life.
They're the ones making the vote, so you kind of want to know where they stand on a lot.
Absolutely.
So,
and then so that was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We had ward. So that was one. We had 2, 3, 4. We had Ward 1 candidate, Guy Malone, on Thursday. Very interesting feller.
Hey, little feller.
Let's see, I live in the country all of a sudden.
Sling blade.
Guy is a very interesting gentleman, and it was really neat to get to know him and see his ideas and his views. So if you are not in contact with us at the chamber, if you're not a member, if you're not checking our website, if you're not liking and sharing our social media, you really are missing out on a lot.
Sure.
Because that's how we disseminate our information, because those are the ways to disseminate information.
How we do it.
Other than me standing on the rooftop screaming to the passerbys on Second, that's how we get our information out. And so you're really missing a lot of information if you're not engaged with the things that we're doing. And we do a lot of things that are not just member specific. Yes, we do things that are member specific, that if you're a member, we will only do certain things for you.
Membership does have its privileges. That's
Absolutely.
Always the case.
But we do have community events, which are these meet and greets, for example. And we ended Friday with Ward 5 candidates. We had all the Ward 5 candidates last Friday. And then this week, Monday was Juan Oropesa, who is the current sitting city councilor for Ward 1.
Yes.
Once again, very interesting, knowledgeable. It was really fantastic to be able to sit down with Juan and understand where he has come from for the last few years as a city councilor and what he'd like to see going forward.
And I don't know the seniority thing, but he's got to be one of the most senior ones on the
I think so.
If not the senior one.
I think he is the most senior now, or will be if reelected.
Because I'm thinking, maybe Barry Foster's been there nearly as long.
And that was Ward 5 was Barry Foster and Carlos Marujo. Once again, very interesting conversations to have.
Yeah.
And then we tied everything up with a nice, pretty bow last night with our school board candidates. Both District 2 and 4 are up for election. Hilda Sanchez is the current sitting District 4 school board member. And it was really cool to sit down and talk to her because, once again, get to know where she was coming from, what she wants to see going forward. And then Robert Chavez with District 2 school. He's the District 2 school board candidate. And to get to know him, he's a younger gentleman who has had kids that go through.
Now, is that the one that's got a new, because that was the ward or the district that the
Hope.
That
is
Hope,
vacated.
Yeah, that Hope, and she stepped down. She was the president.
Correct.
And she decided this was her last term. So that'll be a new board member regardless in that seat there. So.
And so, once again, if you want any more information on any of these candidates, please feel free to contact the chamber. I am happy to disseminate the information and put you in contact with the candidates so you can get more information. Early voting has started, and Election Day is Tuesday, November 7th. So that's coming up here pretty quickly. So get to know what's going on.
Before you early vote, educate yourself.
Please.
Go watch the video. Go read the newspaper. I know they do their little questionnaires and interviews with each of the candidates. Please,
and
all
we're
going to
be putting a link to each of the articles that the paper did on our website. So that way, once again, if for some reason you don't get the newspaper or you want to reread something, we're going to put it up on our website.
Absolutely. And then go back in the candidate forum that we had.
The same with the candidate forum.
If you
I'll
go
have
to
a
the
link.
same place you go watch football, ksvptv.com, there is a candidate forum channel. And then you can go back and watch the candidate forum from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association that took place earlier in the month.
Yep.
And like I said, it's about 2 hours, but you can fast forward and rewind to the parts you were more interested in.
So that's everything we've been doing for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Now let's, I guess, flip to what's coming up here.
So now, and I'm so excited for what we've got coming up for the rest of October. Tomorrow at 5:30 is the grand opening ribbon cutting for NAMI's Intermediate Preparatory Academy.
Okay. It's been open, obviously, because they started the school year.
Correct.
But as far as unveiling the new facilities and showing the first stages of what this preparatory academy are looking like with the first year students.
With the sixth graders.
Yeah, this is the first class
The
in
building
right now.
is the old Chimera building across the street from the hospital on Country Club.
It's all like attached to the NMMI property, but instead of accessing it through Main Street or Kentucky or the place you normally, you get it actually by the hospital to access it this time,
and
which is a little different.
Please come out at 5:30. You'll be able to get a tour of the section of the building that's open, and you'll be able to get to meet the principal and some of the teachers, and just really get to understand what NAMI's vision is for their 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So please come out. That's tomorrow, 5:30. And then on Saturday, we've got St. Mark's Pumpkin Patch grand opening, which is always a big deal.
That's a Roswell tradition.
Yes.
If you're not familiar, they do their pumpkin patch every single year, and they get, I'm going to say thousands. I don't know what the actual number of pumpkins is. It's a lot.
At least a couple hundred, for sure.
And they do, it's their big fundraiser for the church. They do it every year, and they sell out every year. But they literally take their front lawn there and just load it up with pumpkins. And then you come during the day here, and the earlier
the better,
because it does get slim pickings.
It really does
as they get towards a little closer to Halloween. So if you need Gourds aplenty.
Please come.
Yeah. I think the bulk pumpkin buyers around here, they're like, I need a dozen pumpkins for my day. They go to the pumpkin patch first.
Absolutely.
They go to the St. Mark's pumpkin patch.
And they're
every
on
time.
North Main, kind of catty corner from the Pioneer Bank.
Yeah.
And
You'll notice because they got a bunch of pumpkins in the front yard.
It's the church that has all the pumpkins on North Main. It's kind of hard to miss.
Exactly.
And their ribbon cutting is at 2:00 on Saturday.
Okay.
So once again, please come out.
So is that when they officially start pumpkin, or have they already gone? Or
I
they already opened
think
the pumpkin
they may
patch?
have already started, but
Okay.
they send us the information,
Well,
as they always do.
And Saturday they usually make like a festive day. There's
Correct.
probably some food and
They
games.
usually
and
have some
kinda
fun
little
stuff going
festive
on.
Type.
So
when they kick it off,
Come out and get your pumpkin on Saturday.
Yeah.
Then next week we've got Plateau has moved locations. They used to be on
Another grand
Sunset,
opening. Yeah.
and they purchased and remodeled the old Century 21 building
On the north end.
On the north end of
Actually,
town.
not too far, just a block or two within the pumpkin patch.
the
Yeah,
pumpkin
it's right
patch.
in that same area.
So on the 24th, which I believe is Tuesday of next week, it's either Tuesday or Wednesday. Let me pull up my calendar.
21st is Saturday, so that sounds right. 24th Tuesday.
Yes, 24th on Tuesday, Plateau is having their big grand opening at 1 p.m.
Okay.
Once again, come be a part of this celebration.
I think they're going to have the gaming trailer, so if you want
yeah.
the kids to play games or the kids at heart,
It's
you can
going to
get in
be
there.
a big
Yeah.
deal. So
Yeah, and then,
come
of course,
and tour the new facility and see what they've done.
and if you're in an area that's eligible for their high-speed internet and you're not considering getting it, go to this event and talk to them. I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
ever since I've had their high-speed internet at my home, it's been the game
It's a game changer.
I love it. It's, now I can cut the cord. You know what I mean? My wife doesn't want to, so I haven't, but I could. I really
Right.
could.
Well, we recently have at our house, but I'm outside of city limits, so we're still limited. But
that
I have
Plateau
I've been
high-speed.
talking to Plateau, and that's kind of their push is because they see what is happening within the city limits with some of their competitors. And they said, we don't really want to compete with them because they're doing a good job within the city limits, but we see that need outside of city limits. So, of course, my little neighborhood is kind of one of those prime locations because we are literally spitting distance to the city limits. But there's 30-ish houses in my little area, and we all have the same issues. We're like, we need something better than what we have, or at least options, because right now there are no options.
So they're looking to put fiber out that way.
So Plateau's
Good.
like,
Okay.
hey, let's get it. If we can get everybody signed up.
And I'm not sure where they're at, but I think most of city limits is pretty much covered under fiber now.
I think so.
I think it might be a few outlying areas, but I think most of it's pretty much under. Because I remember I got in. What was that, about 4 years ago, maybe?
And they've been hustling.
Yeah, and they were doing it was and so back then you used to get on. You go to their website, and then when your area got to 100% people requesting the fiber, then they'd start, and that's exactly what they did. So,
Yes.
so I remember telling, and all my neighbors are collectively like 80, so it was kind of a bit of a work.
Yes.
I had to tell them, like, no, this is good thing, fast internet, good thing. You want this, good thing. So I convinced our elderly friends that this was something they wanted.
So come out next Tuesday, Plateau, at the old Century 21 building, North Main.
And if you have questions about when they're coming to you, come out. And they'll be happy to talk.
Absolutely be able to help you out.
Absolutely.
And then the 26th, which is Thursday, Steel Depot has done a huge remodel and new building on their location off of Poe at 11 a.m. on Thursday.
So we got some projects coming up, and you're thinking, hey, I didn't think about going to Steel
Depot. So lots of really
Depot.
cool things. And, of course, all of this information with addresses is going to be on our website. I'll have it on hopefully by about lunchtime today.
Yeah. By the way, the holidays are right around the corner, and Steel Depot has a lot of probably dad-centric gifts.
Yes.
But if you're like, blowers and chainsaws, and they do all that kind of stuff too, pretty sure there's some people on your shopping list that would like some of those things. So come check out the grand opening and maybe do some Christmas shopping.
Yes. So, and then, of course, to all of our members, if you would like to have a business after hours, please contact me. We've started business after hours again, and our slots are starting to fill up pretty quickly.
Good deal.
So if you don't want to have to wait until 2024
Call this
after
week.
the summer, call me.
Yeah.
And we'll get you hooked up. And then just in general, if you are a member and you want a grand opening or a ribbon cutting, let us know. Those are some of the things that are member centric.
Okay.
That you do have to be a member to qualify for a business after hours or a ribbon cutting or our red coats to come out.
Gotcha.
But we've got some great pricing for our members. So if you don't have a ton of money, if you're kind of a mom and pop smaller organization, or if you want to just really help out, because our platinum sponsors, diamond sponsors, emerald sponsors, those dollars then also trickle down and help us be able to provide the programming like our meet and greets, and help our smaller mom and pop businesses.
We pull it together to help everybody, but you're right. We talk about the corporations. That's why they sign up for the networking.
Correct.
To show their local presence to us, and by therefore they their money matriculates down to But for the smaller businesses and stuff that, like you said, can't afford to spend thousands of dollars a month on marketing, advertising, and all the things that your big companies do, the chamber can. That's like I can look and sound like a big business, but not pay the money and effort it takes to do that.
Absolutely.
And so you can use the various forms of social media and various platforms that the chamber uses to market and promote your business, especially if, let's face it, you small businesses know a lot about products. Yes. They don't always necessarily know about the business side, the marketing and all of that stuff. Trust me, as a guy that's been working in marketing for 20 plus years, I always get the story where they know best, and I'm like you know a lot about shirts. Let me tell you about how to advertise.
Exactly, and that's where the chamber can help out. Call, ask. Yeah. Our phone number is 575-623-5695, or you can always call my cell phone at 575-420-3035.
Sure.
If for some reason I don't answer the phone right away, text me, because I may be on the other line or I may be with a customer. Mm-hmm. In fact, what was it? Yesterday I came in and there was 8 people standing outside the door as I was pulling into the parking lot to get ready for our sheriff's social luncheon was yesterday as well. And so I've got all the goodies for lunch, and we have 8 tourists that are like, oh my gosh, we're here. Half of them were from Florida. Half of them were from Arizona. Oh. And they said, okay, we're not going to ask you about the UFO museum, but what else can we do?
Sure.
And so, of course, my next follow-up question is, how long are you in town? Yeah. And then I actually built them specific itineraries depending on what they liked. One group wanted to do more outdoorsy stuff, and one group wanted to do more like museum type stuff.
And we got them covered both ways.
Absolutely. So the museum people, I have a flyer with our top with.
Then they probably like, you have this many museums in this town?
They were
like, yeah, we do.
And then, of course, I'm handing out Amy's phone number. I'm handing out the phone number for
Anderson and for the Museum and Art Center.
Well, and the Air Force Museum.
Walker Aviation Museum.
Because one of my biggest thing is I go, if you're really into history, after you're done with UFO Museum, it is a must to do Walker and to do Historical Society. Mm-hmm. You have to do those 3 because if you do the other 2, you understand why the UFO phenomenon even was a thing to be able to happen to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And they learn that military side. Like they don't, like a lot of
people don't realize that we had an Air Force base. Yeah, and it was kind of a big deal.
And odds are, if you were a B-17 bomb crew during World War II, you probably spent time training in Roswell, New Mexico. And people don't realize that the role that this town in this community played during
and
World
how
War II. And the Cold War era afterwards.
Well, we were very critical in a lot of the history for World War II and, like you said, the Cold War.
Yeah, the Atlas missile program. And, once they started getting to the Titans and Minutemen and the more high advanced, then we came out of the picture. But the early days with the Atlas, the dangerous liquid fueled, that was here.
And so it's just really cool for those history buffs. And then, of course, people don't realize how much recreation we have out, and in July when it's 110, probably not wanting to go out on the recreational trails.
Yeah.
I get it. But right now, this is the perfect time of year to go out to Bitter Lakes and go see the flora and the fauna, the birds that are coming and going.
Here in a couple weeks, usually around the end of the October, 1st November, that's when they do the cranes, when the cranes are coming. Matter of fact, I think they're already starting to make their way
I've been hearing
to Bitter Lake here, but yeah, they do the crane. Every season's different at Bitter Lake. You know, yeah, we talk about dragonflies in September, but the cranes roll in. It's a pilot flying jay. That's what I say every time. The Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is a pilot flying jay for the wildlife world.
Yes.
All the migratory birds and things, they stop there as they're heading south for the winter or north for the summer.
Exactly.
The monarch butterflies and all that is part of their trail is right
and
through
the park
there.
Rangers that are out at Bitter Lakes would love to explain all that stuff. And they have a little museum, too, and their museum is super cool because it shows you the flora and fauna that's native to this area that people don't realize.
And there's human history in there because of the Native Americans and the hunting grounds is all the same area. So there's archaeological digs for Native, and so at the visitor center they kind of spotlight not just the natural, the nature side, but also the human side of that area too. So it's
and then
very
we have bottomless lakes going out towards Lubbock into Texas.
Yeah, that's if you want to go boating and fishing and camping and all that.
And
stuff,
once again, the
there.
history of the bottomless lakes and why they're called bottomless lakes because people thought at one time they didn't have a bottom,
and they're right here in our backyard.
And they are the first state park in New Mexico, so that's kind of cool that we have.
And then really, you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Lake Van, Dexter, that whole area of recreation too, and all that. So
there's
it's right there.
So if you know of friends, family that's coming as tourists, we will absolutely love to build a specific itinerary just for you. And it's funny. The tourists that came in yesterday, they were like, "You just get really energized when we asked about what to do," and I'm like. I love our community.
We love our aliens. We love all of that.
That's right.
But we are so much more than that. And we love to tell people about that.
And that is my job is to, thank you for coming for the aliens. Like, if that's what's bringing you to town, I am not knocking it at all. But then that only takes up so much time. And if you're going to be here for a week, it's my job to show you the 1,000 other things that are so cool about our town.
And I imagine when you, like you said, you hit the history bus and then you mentioned about the POW camps and the German POWs and the work they did around here. And you can still see evidence of that to this day here. I imagine there's a lot of history buffs that want to go on the scavenger hunt for these kind of
and they
things.
go, oh my gosh, we had no idea. And I go, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not stuff that's taught in our history books.
Yes. It's all part of the history and fabric of this community that, we want to show
And then, of
people,
course,
so.
if you've got like Bricktown, we've got the spaceport.
Oh, yeah.
And those are fun things to do. It doesn't matter if you're 2 or 102.
Yeah, and then we got a zoo. We got the aquatic center and everything
it all
else.
just kind of depends on who you are, what you're interested in, on where I'm going to show you.
So we do that. So if you have those kind of things or need that help, please come by the chamber.
Absolutely.
If you're business and you're trying to kind of get more bang for your buck as far as making your business.
We'll get you to become a member. We've got all kinds of benefits.
And please come out to our events. And as we start here in November and we'll start the schedule over again with our mornings with the city and our county day,
county
and our
day,
sheriff
city
day,
day, sheriff day, and education. So I have a week off next week that we don't have anything going on.
Yes.
Because the last week of the month, so Halloween is our education lunch. We've got Major General Grizzle with NMMI. We have Brian Lux, Superintendent of RISD, and Dr. Sean Powell with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell campus are going to be on hand to give an update and answer questions.
And by the way, if there's other educators
that want to be involved, let me know.
Private schools, our Gateway, or please
homeschooling, or our Valley schools like Arthur Dexter
we would
Hagerman.
love to have you speak and be a part of these as well too. Reach out to the chamber and we'll get you on the books here for this next one.
Because our gentlemen love to come and talk and give updates on what they're doing.
Sure.
But they are not going to be upset if I say, hey, we've got these other speakers. They're going to be like, totally cool. We love it.
Well, they too are parents. as they are, leaders and administrators, and they understand if families want the best for their kids, and the way you do that is find out and ask information.
If you as the community want to know what's going on in your community, you need to be dialed in on what we're doing at the chamber.
Yep.
You absolutely have to. And then, of course, like I said, to become a member, call me, 575-623-5695. And we have a community calendar that I'm truly want to be a real community calendar. Sure. Anybody, regardless of membership, send me the information. We will get it on the calendar.
Put any and all there, and that way you can figure out your plans of attacks.
With rare exception, obviously our calendar needs to be more on the PG side than anything.
Well, but we also want to use it too for other organizations to plan their events around. Like they can say, "Hey, we like to do our thing in the fall. What's a good weekend that's not 20 other events are going on?"
Yes.
And so that's it. We want that to be that tool for that too. So
that's what we've got going on.
Good deal. Well, thank you. As always, of course, go to the website. Go
RoswellNM.org or 131 West 2nd. We're located really on the corner of Richardson and 2nd.
Yeah.
But we tell everybody Main and 2nd.
If you know where the Roswell Police Department is, or kind of right across the street.
Right across the street. Literally across the street.
Right across 2nd Street.
We have a huge mural of aliens. You can't miss us.
Yeah, can't miss it. And so you got the digital sign there, and then parking lot. And during the summer, there's almost always an RV nearby because it's a tourist or visitor.
And all of our parking is public parking.
Yeah.
So don't ever be afraid that once you're done visiting with us, that you can leave your vehicle and go explore downtown.
Yeah, maybe you're hungry and want to get a sandwich across the street. Whatever you want to do. It's right there. But anyway, reach out for us on that. And then don't forget social media as well, Facebook and
Instagram and LinkedIn. I do all of those. We've got other places, but I want to learn how to use those really well first.
Oh, and by the way, if you're interested in volunteering, the Redcoats are always looking for more members.
Yes, in fact, we have 2 new Redcoats.
Good.
So you'll see them out at the Pumpkin Patch and
They're
at
our
NAMI
official greeters of Roswell.
They are our ambassadors, and you can't miss them because they have the bright red jackets.
Hence the name, the Redcoats.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
There's all kinds of opportunities.
Matter of fact, we got some ribbon cuttings coming up. You'll see them.
That's right.
That's where they.
Absolutely.
That's their stomping
tomorrow,
grounds.
I'm so excited for NAMI, and then of course Saturday out at the Pumpkin Patch.
Yeah. So matter of fact, come out to the NMMI Prep Academy grand opening. You can meet the Redcoats, talk to them what it's all about, and who knows, maybe you can be in the fold there. And
we would love.
We love our Redcoats. They are by far the classiest thing that the Roswell Chamber has. So
I would absolutely agree with that statement. They definitely make me look good.
Well, look at me. I'm not the epitome of class here. So. All right. Well, thank you, AJ.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It is 9:55. Let's do a quick break. Wall Street Business Update, quick break before we wrap up the show. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened lower this morning. Oil prices surged after the missile strike on the hospital in Gaza triggered protests in many parts of the Mideast. Oil prices jumped after Iran's foreign minister called on Muslim nations to expel their Israeli ambassadors and launch an oil embargo. Procter & Gamble rose around 2% after the world's largest consumer products maker beat Wall Street sales and profit expectations. Video streamer Netflix and electric car maker Tesla to report their earnings following today's closing bell. The economy of China slowed over the summer months as global demand for its exports faltered and the ailing property sector sank deeper into crisis. The Chinese economy expanded at a 4.9% annual rate July through September. That was down from a 6.3% rate in the previous quarter. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
This October, Artesia General Hospital is here to help you take charge of your breast health. About 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer. Understanding your family history and getting screened can help lower your risk and lead to early detection. They're pleased to offer advanced 3D mammography, providing increased early detection, more accurate results, and enhanced comfort. Don't wait. Request your mammogram today. Women over 40 don't need a physician's referral to schedule their annual screening. Visit artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Roswell High, along with Farmers Country Markets, Dion's Pizza, Salads and Subs, McDonald's, Cattle Baron, Wakefield Oil Express, Dunkin' Donuts, Texas Roadhouse, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM are proud to present the September Teacher of the Month, Elizabeth Nahar. Mrs. Nahar teaches 11th grade English and is a yearbook advisor. This proud ENMU grad is also the proud mother of 2 beautiful children. Now in her 2nd year at Roswell High and her 8th as an educator, Mrs. Nahar pushes her students to be their best. As nominator Anahi Dominguez says, she truly cares for all her students. Congratulations, Elizabeth Nahar, September's Teacher of the Month.
Let the autumn fun begin at the Artesia Arts Council's 48th Annual Art in the Park, Friday, October 20th, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, October 21st, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at JC Park in Artesia. Stroll through the park and find unique items from many fine arts and craft vendors, food trucks, live music, and more. Buy a chance to win a cake at the Artesia High Band Cakewalk, an annual tradition at Art in the Park. Bring the whole family to this fun fall event. Art in the Park, Friday, October 20th, and Saturday, October 21st at JC Park, 1710 South 26th Street in Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Let's face it, guys. We're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And we are closing in on 10 o'clock. That is going to do it for us for today's show. Thank you oh so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. If you miss any part of the show, log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find it all there. We had John from Oasis Computers join us in the 7 o'clock hour. He's always a wealth of tech-savvy information for you. Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society joined us last hour to discuss pets available for adoption and some sales going on for Halloween at the thrift store. And, of course, we just had Andrew Moore with the Chamber talking all about candidate forums and upcoming events there. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND